trained Harley, who was in that event. And Sam Hyde actually got banned from Creator Clash. So it was very clear that iDubbbz was holding a grudge against Sam Hyde to the point where he was banning him from the event. This year, Froggy Fresh got trained by Sam Hyde. And apparently we now know, and we'll get into the details of this, but iDubbbz called him asking him a lot of questions about that. And then the next thing that took place is after the training with Sam Hyde, Froggy Fresh made a joke that if he lost the match or something, he would sub to Anissa's OnlyFans. Very lighthearted joke. The inside scoop of that joke is basically his opponent, Chris Raygun, and Anissa had a podcast together, and everyone has always made this meme that the two of them were dating. So that was the background and the context of that joke. Didn't seem like a big deal, but apparently Anissa's mom, iDubbbz' mother-in-law, didn't like that, started calling Froggy Fresh an imp, saying that his brain was broken and all that. Froggy Fresh responded with some lighthearted videos, just on the defense, not even on the fucking offense. And ever since then, things were kind of cool. And then bam, they announced that they were kicking him off the card. We did a space here. There was 4,000 people here. Every major YouTuber that covers like drama and, stuff like this has covered the story. Today, it was actually on Philip DeFranco who covered the story. So this is a massive, massive story that people have been paying attention to. I've covered it on Drama Alert. And Creator Clash is getting a ton of hate. They're getting demolished. And they knew they were going to get hate at the very beginning because they turned replies off when they made the initial statement that Froggy Fresh was off. A little bit of news happened yesterday. Dad and Harley both, and Harley's here, he's actually requested to come up, and we will have him up. But Dad and Harley have been like kind of being the PR frontmen for Creator Clash, saying really good things about iDubbbz and Creator Clash nonstop. iDubbbz and his wife, the actual like creators of Creator Clash, they haven't said anything. They haven't spoke on this. So it's weird how they threw Dad to the wolves and Harley to the wolves. Very, very strange when, neither one of them actually even own Creator Clash. But Dad was making some comments about the people defending Froggy. He was basically calling them slime balls. Sam Hyde told Dad that he would lose 70 pounds to fight Dad in a boxing match. And then Dad basically said he would not associate himself with a bad guy like Sam Hyde, and said something about he had to go make a movie. Today, it's been relatively quiet other than Philip DeFranco covering the story, which was another big wave of this story getting big again. And then all of a sudden, we got a statement from Creator Clash, which basically said that they wanted to add, more context, more details in their reasoning of why they got rid of Froggy Fresh. But they didn't really add too much. So I'm going to go to Froggy right now, who's on stage. Froggy, what did you think of that statement?
It's just not accurate.
So I think it's best if maybe like I go and read the statement. Bo Blacks, do you have good audio right now? Are you on a phone?
I'm on my phone, but is the audio good?
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good enough. Could you read the statement for us?
Okay, I'll try to get to it. 1 second.
I was just kind of blown away by reading this statement because I was like, oh, okay, now we're going to figure out where they're coming from. No, I didn't get any details.
Yeah, we didn't learn that much. Okay, it says, as you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh would be leaving the Creator Clash 2 ticket. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision to help clarify some of the online chatter. We have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with Creator Clash this year. The Creator Clash 2 team, inclusive of the production company, takes violations seriously and made several unsuccessful attempts to address them directly with Froggy Fresh in hopes we could work together to get things back on track. When it became clear that the exhibited behavior wasn't stopping, at risk to the other fighters, fans, and others involved in the event, the Creator Clash 2 team made the collective decision to move forward without Froggy Fresh on the ticket. Our number one priority is ensuring Creator Clash 2 is a positive, safe, welcoming space for everyone. We look forward to kicking off an amazing event and raising a lot of money for charity. Creator Clash and iDubbbz have already donated $50,000 for each of Froggy Fresh's supported charities: Kids Cancer Foundation and Nicholas Children's Hospital, for a total of $100,000. They will also remain beneficiaries of money raised throughout the event itself. The fighters have all been working so hard and can't wait to get into the ring. Let's focus on their fights, not any that may exist online. Creator Clash 2.
Okay, well, first of all, obviously, we're probably gonna challenge a lot of this stuff. So before we do that, it was a good thing that they donated $100,000 to Froggy Fresh's charity. So, like, at least that's good out of this. But we didn't really learn anything. If he had multiple violations, what were they? Froggy, speak on this. Do you know anything about what they're talking about?
No,
They said they contacted you multiple times, or attempted to, and they couldn't get a hold of you. What are they?
no. I got contacted like a handful of times total, period, about anything, which is not a big deal. Like, I don't need people to call me or nothing, but like the third time Ian ever called me was after Sam Hyde retweeted me. And like, I don't even want to get into all that right now. Like, that's probably later. But like, as far as any offenses, when I was in Providence, Justin Tracy called me like once and texted and asked if I had time to talk. I was training with Sam the entire time I was there. I asked if he could communicate through text or email, please. And I never got a text or email. And the next time that I was contacted was a text from Justin Tracy to ask if I had seen the email that I was terminated.
And you said before that was like 5 minutes before they announced it on Twitter.
It was like it was in between 5 to like maybe 15 minutes, something like that.
So, Bo Blacks, could you read the line about them, like, numerous attempts of contacting Matt, or what is the exact statement?
Yeah, they said like there was numerous attempts to contact Froggy Fresh unsuccessfully about multiple violations. So that's what they said. I guess maybe there's multiple instances where Froggy, made jokes that they don't like, and they reached out and they're like, "Hey, can you not do that?" Maybe, but Froggy would know. So Froggy, what do you think these violations are?
I mean, I wouldn't know. They haven't told me what the violations were.
Look, if his violations were online behavior, right? I mean, you have every commentary person. You got Drama Alert. You got Philip DeFranco. You got Moist Critical. You got all these people looking into it, trying to figure out why he got kicked off the card. And the only thing we can come up with is the OnlyFans line and potentially training with Sam Hyde. That's it. That's the only thing we got.
Yeah, I can't think of any other violation that like sticks out in my mind for what could be considered one. Maybe every time he went back and forth with the mom was a repeated violation. So there's like 3, maybe. I have no clue what the logic
Harley
there
just
is.
texted me. He wants on. We will definitely have Harley on. I just want to get through this because Froggy Fresh put out two or three tweets in reference to the statement. One was about the call with iDubbbz. Can you talk about that?
Honestly, you can even bring Harley on because I know they sent Harley to come fight for him. So like, let Harley talk too, and then I can talk about whatever.
And then also you put out a tweet that they're threatening a lawsuit. So that's out there as well, which is, I mean, how much more overkill can you get? But I guess we'll bring Harley on to see what he has to say. Harley, you there?
Yeah. What up?
What are
Did
your
you say
thoughts on
that?
the statement?
Real quick. No one sent me here to fight. I would never go and fight someone else's beef. So no, Anissa and iDubbbz probably rather that I not be here. Froggy, So no, I never got sent to go fight someone else's fight. Have you ever done that? Anyways, moving along. I pulled up the contract here because I hear him listening to you guys. You're like, I don't know what he could have done. Well, you didn't sign the contract. You didn't look at his contract.
Yeah, I
Every
just don't know
fighter,
legitimately.
Well,
every
that's why we're
fighter,
saying we don't know
right,
what he could have
every
done.
fighter.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not me. It's not my event. I'm not here to fight for them. And like you said, Keem, I'm not the mouthpiece of the event. I just sit here and I listen to you guys talk sometime. And I'm like, is this some sort of weird exercise in nonsense? We're acting like we don't know. The guy behaved himself poorly. He did. Yes, I went and trained with Sam, and I know that they're not friendly. But when I came back, I didn't diss the owner of the event who has bad blood with Sam. And Froggy stated himself when he misunderstood the text that I sent, he thought I said Sam was off limits. If I said Sam was off limits, in my experience, why would you go work out with Sam? That's cool. Do it. He helped me train with him. That's cool. But why would you go work out with him? Come back and fight for him. It's like you came back and you were a pawn in some game of 4D chess, and I think you found out that iDubbbz and Anissa don't play games. So that's on you. And now you're acting like a child, being like, I don't know what I did. Yeah, you do, bro. Yeah, you do. You know exactly what you did. Fighter
Well,
agrees,
I don't really
represents,
see.
hold up, represents and warrants that he and his accompanying personnel shall conduct themselves in conformity with public convention morals and standards of decency. I really don't even need to continue. But like, yeah, if you're like a fighter in the event, there's lots of things that you know you can't do based on the contract that sure could be open for interpretation, but straight up calling iDubbbz a pimp in reference to what his wife does to their mom, not really something you can fully get away with. Secondly, after shit hits the fan, maybe hit them up and talk to them instead of making references to that time a bulldozer went over and bulldozed over a town.
Harley,
Like
I don't
there's
mean
ways,
to,
there's professional ways to go about this, and it's not happening. And everyone else, they're not like me. They don't want to come here and talk to you guys. They don't want to talk to them. And a lot of those creators, they have fans that don't even know this shit's going on. So as much as you want to blow up Creator Clash, there's a lot of people that aren't that familiar with
Harley,
the beef that is going
I
on
don't
on
want to
Twitter right
interrupt.
now.
I don't want
But
to
you keep
interrupt.
doing it, so just go ahead.
But because you're making multiple points, and I want to get Froggy a chance to respond, because it's this point, then that point, then that point, and it's like, you know,
It's hard. I know it's hard to keep track of like 6 things. Trust me, I've seen it. It's like people can't connect the dots. It's like you can't connect 6 simple dots. So let's go one at a time, and then we can refute each one at a time, even though point 3 refutes point 1. But yeah, sure, let's go through it if we want. Like everyone's acting surprised. You disrespect the owner of the event. You got removed.
well, I
Like
mean, I'm shocked.
I'm not
I can
sitting
tell
here
you,
being
I'm
like,
absolutely
why?
shocked. Harley, I'm
And another
shocked
thing, can I just say
because
something real quick before this continues? If someone doesn't have a YouTube channel, please do not say their first and last name on here. They're just real people with real jobs. They're not in the weirdo YouTube world like we are. Don't say their first and last name.
okay. Anyhow, I'm shocked. You said don't act shocked. I'm shocked. I think the internet is shocked when, you know, these jokes, and we've seen these jokes and these tweets be made, and the reaction was to kick him off the card, because we're talking about iDubbbz, like the YouTuber iDubbbz and his wife, a Twitch streamer, Anissa, like they're public figures. We know them. We are shocked by the reaction of kicking Froggy Fresh off the card based on the tweets.
Why?
We're shocked. That's like
Why are you shocked?
ridiculous.
Imagine you hired me to do something, okay? And you hired me and I was going to go do it. And then the week before, I went and I hung out with H3H3. And the day I came back, I went, Team, fuck your daughter. Would you not think that that's charged in some strange way? Would you
Well,
not
I
think
mean,
there's an element there? Like you were so caught up on the lore and
I'm not
understanding
sure
how
that
deep things are. Like
I'm not sure that Froggy Fresh said anything about anyone's kids. Like that's
no, he said he made the hint like, oh, I'll subscribe to your OnlyFans. Like he downplayed the OnlyFans, and then that just kickstarted stuff. And then I looked at Anissa's mom's Twitter account. How do we know her name? I went and I looked at that. How do you know that person's name? How do we know that that's her Twitter account? How did we know that? Where does it say her name there?
Do you not want to say names of not public people or not?
No, I saw the name that he tweeted, but I just looked at that account. Where's the name? It doesn't say it there. Froggy, where did you get her name?
I mean, I've heard it around the internet, bro.
Okay.
Also,
those
Harley,
places where you would hear that around the internet, bro, like I think those aren't the best places to like maybe feed into you having a positive attitude about the creators. It sounds like you've been in some weird places of the internet and you kind of tweeted it about it a bit. You kind of leaned into that a bit.
Well,
Like
Harley, are
I
you
went to
saying that
Rhode
it's not
Island.
her mom?
No, I'm just so curious because I went and I did it and I was like, okay,
I just want to
who
make
found
sure
out
that
this?
you're not saying that because, like,
No, I went and I looked and I was like, oh, so her name is not there. Who found out that this is a name? It looks like a burner account.
I mean, Harley, it's in a popular article, dude. Like, it's all
What
over
article?
Twitter. Where's that article?
Yeah, what website is that article from?
Not only that, but if you search that that Twitter account and Anissa's Twitter account, you can see conversations mother and daughter like throughout the years on Twitter.
I didn't go to the dark web to get.
I honestly, Froggy, it feels like you kind of just like you. I knew you were gonna hit it off there, bro. I knew that. I messaged you. I was like, you're gonna have a great time there. I did. I love that place. I love those guys. But I think the way you came back, the energy that you were on, worked against you. And I'm shocked when things started to take off and you were, making the comments on Twitter, you didn't respond back. You didn't respond back to them reaching out to you. I'm surprised you didn't do that. I'm surprised you're here saying that you didn't get paid 15K
Harley,
for training.
I did respond.
Did you get paid 15K for training?
Did you hear when I told you the last contact was?
Yeah.
When I was in Rhode Island and Justin Tracy
I saw something different.
I messaged him back. And I said, please, can you communicate through text or email? I'm training.
So he was like,
with
your fight? Your
dude,
fight?
don't interrupt, Harley. You're interrupting me. That's not fair. I didn't interrupt you. So that was the last time they reached out. That was it. So that I reached back to Justin Tracy. No text, no email. A week later, I'm out of the event. Or no, 2 nights later when I get home. 3 nights later, 3 nights. Like, that's it. There was nothing else.
The event organizers called you and you didn't speak to them?
Real quick,
back immediately.
Real quick, I have tweeted out the article that has the proof in it. It's on my Twitter. I just tweeted it out.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. So at no point when you got hit up by Creator Clash, you weren't like, shit, hold on, let me stop training for the boxing match that's at jeopardy right now. And let me see what's going on.
I don't understand why couldn't that have been communicated through text or email if it was that important?
You're a grown-ass man. If things escalated, pick up the phone and be
grown
like,
men can't communicate through text or email?
Be like, Ian, Anissa, what's up? Did you not like the joke when I dissed your wife's content? Should I not
Why do I need to reach out to Ian or Anissa?
Should I not have doxed your mom? Should I not have doxed your mom on her burner Twitter account? Should I not have done that? It was the fight.
Whoa.
He still never spoke to them.
You gotta let me address your points one at a time. How was I even supposed to know Ian and Anissa were mad when I get one call from Justin Tracy, then a text message? I respond to it immediately, say, "Could you communicate through text or email? I'm training," and then nothing else. I still don't even know if Anissa.
What's the last text you sent to Anissa?
It was probably some group message from 3 months, 4 months
what was the last text you
ago.
said to Anissa, just you two?
I said something. I don't remember. I never remember talking to Anissa.
Anissa doesn't have your phone number?
No, anything that was communicated would have been in a group chat with me.
She never
texted
you directly. Anissa never texted you directly?
I never have a direct text from Anissa that I can remember. No.
Oh, that you can't remember. Well, it'd be cool if you had a device
I don't
that
have
you could
one.
pull up right now and actually have everything archived and you'd be able to look at it right now.
All right, Harley.
Well,
no, I don't. Harley, stop. I don't have one direct text. Harley, I'm not lying. Yeah. I don't have one direct text from Anissa. I have a group chat with my wife and Anissa. There's a group chat.
Your wife
I do not have any direct
contact. Okay. Did anyone ever text you and your wife? What was the last thing Anissa sent you and your wife to you and your wife's phone? What was the last thing?
Tense moments in the Twitter space as Froggy goes to see.
It's, hey, Tyler, I'm not with Ian. I'm home visiting family. Ian called me not feeling great, and I'm just trying to understand what's happening or how I can help.
What's the date?
Sunday, March 12th.
You didn't want to respond to that?
No, because you don't know the context of that. You don't have the context.
go
Harley,
at
let me give
her
you the
mom on the
context.
burner Twitter account instead of responding to that very serious and
Harley,
sympathetic text that was nowhere
I
near
have to give
threatening or
context.
aggressive. Sure, give us
I
context.
have to give the
Well,
context.
March 12th. I mean,
Harley.
shit, that's like 2 weeks ago.
No. Not only that, but I have to give the context of that text message, okay? Do you want the context? Because that will clarify why that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
After Sam retweeted that I was going to Providence to train, Ian called me 15 minutes later. I was getting out of the shower.
Were you surprised that
I
Ian
said,
called?
hey. No, I
Why?
wasn't.
Yeah, because I told you. You
'Cause
knew
said-
that
'cause
there was
I
beef
wasn't
between them
yes.
that I told you.
No, I knew that. I wasn't surprised because you said we weren't allowed to work
Wrong,
with Sam.
lie. You read the text message wrong. That's a lie.
No,
Yeah, that's a lie.
You said
I said I won't
you couldn't work on anything with
I
Sam.
said I won't be
It's not a
filming
lie.
with Sam. I'm allowed to
No,
train with him.
no,
By contract, you could
I
train
got
with
to read the
whoever you
text
want.
again, bro.
I'll post it
I gotta
after
go
this.
read the
You can
text.
train with whoever you want. Doesn't matter what you say. Even if Ian had a problem with it, contractually, I can go train with whoever I want. What I can't do is train with whoever I want and come back and start insulting him on Twitter. That I can't do. That he has the right to remove me.
I'm gonna have to read the
Yes,
text
hell!
to
Sure.
clarify.
As I said, it doesn't matter. Even if he said, Harley, you can't train with Sam Hyde, I'd be like, I have in contract, I can go train with him if I want to. What I can't do is come back and insult the owners of the event after training with someone who I knew they weren't that comfortable with and who I knew they were trying to reach out to me at that time. So why would you come back and insult her on Twitter when she tried to reach out to you to be like, hey, it's kind of weird. Ian doesn't feel well about it. Can we talk? Why'd you do that?
All right. I was going to read the text.
Okay, buddy. It's
I
like you
said,
clearly missed the whole point of what I was saying. Guys, don't want to see.
Yo,
I actually do.
read
I
the
have a
text.
boxing match coming up. I'm heading out.
I was just going to read the
Wait,
text.
wait,
I'll
Harley,
listen. I'll
Harley,
listen while I
don't
do
leave
it.
yet. You just made like
I said
16
everything that makes
points.
sense. It only makes less sense.
But he
from
has
this
to
point forward.
counter the points.
Sure. And like I said, it doesn't matter because I said, even if they told me I cannot train with him, you could. What you can't do is train with him, come back, and then insult them. That's what you did. And reading the text doesn't change that. I still think he read the text wrong. But regardless, it doesn't change the main point. She reached out to him and was like, hey, what's up? He ignored her, insulted them on Twitter. Why is everyone acting like a fucking idiot here, being like, why is this happening? You don't get to insult the owners of the event like that.
Is it confirmed that they're going to try to sue him?
No, they're not suing him. They just don't
Dude,
want
I'll
him
even
to,
address that.
They probably don't
can
want
I
him
address the text first?
disparage the event.
Harley,
Harley,
I'm
15 or
confused.
17K.
Do you
paid,
represent
right,
Creator Clash or not? Because like
I represent me, and I'm boxing at Creator Clash. Do you represent the rival boxing promotion team?
Right? I support Creator Clash. What are you talking about?
We're talking about Coca-Cola, and this guy owns Pepsi, and no one's pointing that shit out.
Harley, I support Harley. Did I support your fight last year?
Really, you just need to be close to there.
Harley, did I support your fight last year?
It's a big boxing conversation that you want to be a part of.
Did I support your fight last year?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
right?
Thank you.
What'd you do?
I rest my case.
But what did you do to support it?
So the point is this:
you put a like on a tweet. What did you do to support it?
He put a like on a tweet.
That's what I did. I put a like on a tweet, guys.
What did you do to support the fight, Keem?
I like tweets from multiple accounts.
It's literally from a Drama Alert and a Keemstar account. What did you do to support the fight?
Yo,
what are you talking about?
I'm
Can
sorry,
I quantify what you're
Is
talking
there
about?
any credence to the lawsuit thing? Are they trying to get money back from Froggy Fresh? Are they trying to get that $15K back? Are they going to do anything legal?
I mean,
I bet they would not. They probably just like normally. It's like,
can we
hey,
let
we
Froggy answer that question, Harley?
But Froggy doesn't have any answers. When are you going to figure that out, Keem? He doesn't have
no,
the
Harley.
answers
I try to
want.
address like you make 4 points in a row and then don't let nobody address nothing, dude.
Okay,
so, like,
well, how did you support my fight, Keem? Hilarious thing to say. How did you support it?
Well, then we're gonna go right into the lawsuit, but yeah,
we're going right into it. Here we go, fellas.
So Harley, you don't remember me like putting out all those tweets and like cheering for you, saying that you're like back, Epic Mealtime's back, hyping you.
Thank
you. Remember any of that?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Okay.
That was cool. But like, what am I supposed to do? Be like, oh yeah, so Froggy's allowed to call iDubbbz a pimp.
No. Stop. You're losing the conversation. You said Keemstar is here because he represents a rival boxing event. I
Did you
responded by
offer
saying
me?
I
Did you
supported.
offer me? Did you offer me a boxing contract after my
Yes,
fight?
yes, I did.
So was there not a vested interest in supporting my fight? In the event that I won or whatever, would it not look better if you were like, I was supporting you the whole time? Now here's this offer for a boxing match.
I mean, if you
So
want
once
to look
again, I
at
Damn.
me,
mean,
if you
we
want to look at me that
understand.
way,
Damn.
I don't look at you like that, but I think everyone should also remember that you're Happy Punch and you're talking about Creator Clash. And Creator Clash, I think, is the one different boxing promotion from all the others. And why is it different? Because there's just not, it's not the Wild West like that. You don't get to go and diss the creators of the event for no reason. You don't get to do that. You just got to behave yourself.
so it's boring,
Be
is what you're
proper.
saying? It's not as fun as the
Yeah,
others?
maybe it's boring. Maybe it's not as fun as the others. Maybe.
I
Maybe.
say it's good people having clean fun.
Yeah. For a good cause.
Anyhow, can we talk about the lawsuit stuff? Because Sam was asked about the lawsuit. I asked
There's
about the
as far as
lawsuit,
I'm
and then
concerned, there's
Harley
no
responded and
lawsuit.
said they're not suing. So it's confusing because I want Froggy to answer that question.
He just can't talk shit about Creator Clash if they paid him money. If he wants to keep the money, don't talk shit about Creator Clash. Just kind of like shut up and start training for your
Wait,
next
I just
boxing
asked
match.
him to
I love
answer.
you
Are you
all.
trying
You're all
to
beauties. I
scare
actually
him?
have to train for a fight. Bye.
All right, now you guys want me to address this stuff now?
Yes, please.
Jesus Christ, dude. How's he gonna make like 6 points and I'm just sitting there waiting for him to get done talking? My God. So now he don't even want to be here to defend himself because now I gotta read the tweet.
Hey, Froggy, he said his piece, and now he said peace.
Bro, I mean, I would like for him to come back just like if he got something to say, because I was just like, he's not even here to refute what I'm gonna say.
Man, you are just getting stepped on, brother. I hate to see this. I would, if I could kill 1,000 people to fix the situation, I would.
I know you would, Sam, because you had my
In
back literally from the
Minecraft, he
beginning.
meant in Minecraft.
I meant in my favorite video game, Keem, which is the one with Agent 47. What's it? Hitman.
Yes,
I would
that
kill
game.
1 million NPCs. But honestly, I don't like seeing Froggy Fresh get stepped on because he's a for real, like, very good dude, and he's there's nothing like weird or duplicitous about this kid. He really, and I think that's why he doesn't gel with like iDubbbz, for example, is because like he's just an innocent, like Froggy Fresh is an innocent dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just seems like there's like a disconnect between the communication on like whether iDubbbz and Anisa did enough reaching out to warn Froggy Fresh of his behavior or not, right? Because if it's in the contract that you can't like make fun of Anisa's OnlyFans, and yeah, it's stupid, but I guess it's in the contract. But I feel like they didn't give him sufficient enough warning based on the conversations I heard between Harley and Froggy. Like there wasn't enough warning.
How incredibly frustrating it is for like me, Moist Critical, Philip DeFranco. Yeah, Philip DeFranco's still here, who's also covered the story. All the commentators, Nicholas Diorio, whoever. Do you know how frustrating it is for us trying to cover this story, represent all sides when iDubbbz and Anisa are not speaking? There's this weird AI generated like statement on the Creator Clash, right? And then you have Harley and Dad speaking for the company, and they're just getting destroyed. So it's like, what actually is their position? What is their point? What exactly did Froggy do that was so wrong? Like, we're not getting details. We're getting this weird, like, when a YouTuber's in trouble and they put out some generic statement online, like it's going to help anything. That's what we're getting. Some PR weird shit. It's like, we need real people. iDubbbz built an entire fucking, millions and millions of fans based on being a YouTuber, connecting with the audience. And we have this issue and he's not speaking, and we need him to speak.
Yeah, I think based on what Harley said, I think the two issues are his OnlyFans comment and then responding to the mom in general, because that somehow like doxes the mom's name or something like that. So I guess that's the reason. I think that's I think that's ridiculous, but that's all I can kind of get. And their new statement doesn't really answer any questions. They said they want to clarify things, but like I don't know anything more than I did yesterday.
Let's get to the lawsuit part, which everyone's on the edge of their seat for. Froggy, were you actually threatened with a lawsuit?
Yes, this is what their offer was. They wanted me to pay back the $15,000 that they sent me over the last 5 months for training, travel, equipment, and stuff like that, and also like a vow of silence on the situation. And if I signed that, they would drop any potential to sue for what they believe are damages that the event has incurred. So, in other words, like, we're not going to sue you if you pay back the 15 grand and you shut up about it. But like, if you don't sign this, then we can pursue like to sue you based on damages that I brought to the event.
Okay. Nicholas Dioro is a commentator who is always obsessed with the optics, right? What are the optics on this with iDubbbz and Anissa and Creator Clash kind of making this proposal to Froggy? Are those good optics for them?
Yeah, I think it's delusional. I don't think they're actually going to do that. I think after the pushback that they got, it would be like career suicide to sue him after that. My best guess is that was just a scare tactic. We're going to threaten this, and then hopefully he'll just shut up and take the money, or else this is going to get much bigger. And it didn't go their way.
They weren't even offering money, though. They wanted money back plus shut up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give us the yeah.
So Harley had a bunch of crazy statements when he was in here. I wish he would have stayed longer so we could actually have a conversation, but he kept throwing so many different things and then nobody could respond. So it got very convoluted.
Are you kind of shocked he came back? Like, he kind of acknowledged it was a bad idea to come the first time, and I kind of chalk that up to like he's just passionate about the charity. But isn't it kind of weird that he came back to talk to us again?
I think in Harley's mind, he has a good relationship with iDubbbz and Anissa, and he likes Creator Clash. He's doing a good thing, raising money for charity. And this issue comes up, and in his mind, he's like, "Well, obviously, you don't insult the boss. Like he's in the wrong." And with him trying to like say that the first time, the whole internet just shit on Harley, and now he's in defensive mode. Right now he's like tripling down to defend the company because what we just saw today was more of a defense than the first time we spoke to him.
Yeah, I think Harley's probably just he might just be getting anxious, and I don't think he realizes how whack iDubbbz and Anissa are. Like the lawsuit thing especially is that like I spend a lot of time on Twitter trying to start shit, and I really I get into arguments with people all the time, and you would be surprised to hear that I don't want to do every evil thing to every person that I hate, but like suing someone is like, especially like as a huge organization that has a lot of money behind it, threatening to sue some kid that doesn't have millions of dollars to defend himself, um, that's like that's a very low thing to do to somebody. Like it's a loss. Keem, I'm sure you've had legal problems in the past.
Yes.
It's not fun in games, man. It's fucking like life. It's like life ruining shit potentially. If a big organization or somebody with money gets you in their sights and starts throwing that shit around, that's like bullet in the head time.
Yeah, I mean that's like the worst thing ever, and the
That's
fact
not that shit.
that
That shit's not a joke. It's not like a retweet or some kind of like funny threat or joke about someone like, oh, you're gay. It's not like that. It's like here I'll threaten to ruin you. It's not good, man.
it's
And
like
over what? A joke about OnlyFans?
so to give the audience some perspective. I'm just going to throw a guess out there, just because I have been sued multiple times. I've won every time, but yeah, Froggy Fresh would be in a position where he'd have to sell his house basically to fight this lawsuit. Like that would be like for a normal average middle class person, you're going to have to sell your home to fight a lawsuit like this. Like you're going to.
Exactly, man. That type of shit is it's not funny stuff to play around with. It's especially fucking uncool if you're a boxing if you're a hey, we're all friends here. We're having good, clean fun in this boxing organization. We're all fun. Like this fake nice guy shit. This Nathan Barnett dad guy. These fucking beta male fake nice guys that would, to be quite honest, they'd probably be rapists if they had have half a chance to rape somebody.
Okay.
That Nathan Barnett guy, he's all smiles, he's all funny little jokes, he's joking around like he's in a commercial. I guarantee you that guy would rape somebody if he had the opportunity. I'm not even.
Yeah, but he could sue you for that though, Sam. Chill.
If he sues me, he's gonna learn the definition of torture.
Anyhow.
Yeah, legally he would rape somebody in Minecraft, by the way.
In Minecraft.
Yes.
If he had the chance to rape a woman, he would.
In Minecraft.
No, not in Minecraft, Keem. These beta males, these guys that smile and their whole mating strategy is to come off as unthreatening. You know the type of guy that I'm talking about, where it's like their whole shtick is being unthreatening. That's the type of guy that actually does a rape. And I'm not saying, this is not something I'm saying lightly to like I don't think that there's anything funny about rape. I think these people are fucking low. I think they're fucking dirt.
Well, we don't know if Nathan or Dad is anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously that's like crazy like assumption, but
I know, I'm joking.
Sam is joking, and Sam and Nathan got into a big beef yesterday. Can we talk a little bit about that? So,
please do.
I seen how Nathan, aka Dad, right, who had an awesome win in Creator Clash 1. I like the guy. I have no issues with him, but he is kind of like Harley, like the YouTuber lawyer of Creator Clash, if you will, and he's been defending them every step of the way. And he put out a tweet calling everyone slime balls that are upset that Froggy's off the card. And you and Nathan got into it.
Dude, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something too. You want to hear something? What you want to hear is something that makes this even more slimy. Bro, I was down for Dad when nobody else was, and this motherfuckers. I was like, damn, Dad's a savage. Dad been working, because I don't want to see nobody take no L's, especially because this dude's already in his early 40s. This motherfucker's coming up on the end. I want to see him catch wins. Why the fuck I want to see Dad fucking fail? I think Dad's got fucking hands. I think he's a savage. When I was at fucking Denny's, I was all like telling them, yo, Dad's a fucking savage. And they're all like, no, Dad doesn't spar with high level fucking competition. He's gonna lose to AB. And I'm thinking, these motherfuckers are.
So who said that? Who said that?
Fucking Ian and Anissa, like that's the way these motherfuckers are. And then they got Dad like riding for them. They don't even. And if like I wouldn't be like this, but if everybody's gonna keep calling me out, like I'm the fucking person that's fucking shit up, like that Dad's out here riding for them. They're all like, they don't even fucking give a fuck about him.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, now we're kind of like, if that's true, we're seeing a little bit behind the curtain here, where Dad is getting bashed by Anissa and Ian.
And that's no disrespect to AB, because I like AB too. I've got no problem with nobody in this event. Nobody. I got no problem with nobody in this event. It's for fucking charity. Why am I having some problem with somebody in this damn event? I made a joke that obviously people got upset about, and I got a text message that I responded to, and then 3 days later, a "you're fired" email. So it's like that's what it is.
I want to go back to something Harley said. Right now, first of all, I'm coming from a place where I know I was backing Harley in Creator Clash 1 and promoting the event, but really like excited about Harley. Epic Mealtime, like that's a guy I watched back in the day. That's a guy that inspired me. I remember there was a time for us gamers where we couldn't even get partnered on YouTube. They didn't partner gaming channels, right? And that motherfucker Harley came out in a limo with Epic Mealtime, and they had a saying called YouTube money, and all of us fucking gamers were saying it because we just got partnered and we got our first checks. Like, that guy is like a fucking hero to us. So I was backing him. I was defending him. And for him to spin that to, oh, you run a competitive thing and you were trying to get me in there and da 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 da. It's like, yes, that is true, but I also like generally like supported you and fuck with you. And so I seen him kind of like spin stuff on you, saying that basically you went to go train with Sam Hyde, and what did he say? After you hung out with Sam Hyde, you went to go do Sam Hyde's bidding and attacked Anissa. What's your response to that allegation?
No, first off, nobody can do Sam Hyde's bit. Sam Hyde is the best comedian of all time and the best comedian of our generation. I couldn't do Sam Hyde's bit if I wanted to.
Damn.
So,
But were you doing his dirty work by attacking Anissa?
no, it was just a bad joke at Chris Reagan. It's a bad joke. That it just wasn't. I guess it was a bad joke.
This kid, he doesn't have like duplicity or manipulation in his DNA. He's not this type of dude. He came out here. We first of all, we didn't talk about Anissa or iDubbbz at all, and his whole thing, like he's not a shit starter. I think people are reading into that the Chris Reagan Anissa joke like it's a streamer joke, I guess. I don't get it. I don't watch this streamer shit, but it's not like that. Like he's not trying to get up Anissa's ass the way I do. And I don't think Froggy Fresh like has beef like that with even now with these two people. Like I think he's ready to if they were like apologize and you'll get your spot back as a fighter, I think he would do that. Not to speak out of turn for him, but I feel like it's not a beef thing. It's not like that. He just wants to do the fight that he was promised.
Yeah. For those of you that don't understand the lore or the joke that Froggy Fresh was making, he basically told Chris Reagan if he loses, he's going to sub to Anissa's OnlyFans. Well, a lot of people don't understand that joke, but here's the joke. Chris Reagan and Anissa used to have a podcast together back in the day. This is like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And the internet started a rumor that the two of them are dating and secretly dating. So that is the joke. That is the basis of the joke. When you have a fight coming up, I mean, you're supposed to talk shit to your opponent, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. So it's like that was his shit talk to. Am I right, Froggy? That is the context, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was like, he definitely seemed jacked up on Adderall or whatever. I was like, damn, he's definitely on Adderall, especially because he's liking all these tweets and he's like popping all around like them snapper poppers that you get on the 4th of July that you throw around like pop, pop, pop. Like that's how he was moving. And I was like, he's definitely on Adderall. I thought that would be something fun.
Interesting. I understand that Sneeko is in the building. Sneeko request. I think he has something to say on the matter, which will be interesting and make this even more toxic. Um, yeah, I don't. Where do you go from here? That statement, and I really, if can we read the statement again, Bo Blacks, if you will, because it's so frustrating when we're seeing lines about, they contacted him multiple times. He's saying no, that didn't happen. All right, we're seeing the lines where, he had multiple violations. What are these violations? Like the Anissa thing, yes, maybe that was in their code of conduct or whatever. But what are the other violations? I don't get it. What are they talking about? Like, if you're gonna make a statement like that, why not just reference everything so you're transparent and there's no more mess, right? Like this to me felt like a PR statement, all right? That was bullshit, like all PR statements are for fucking content creators or companies or whatever. And then to hide the fact of like wrongdoing or whatever, or a bad call for kicking him off, they donated the money. Now, them donating the money to Froggy's charities is a good thing, but it can't come after potential lies on the situation with no details. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they say this post was to clarify. I really think the only reason they made this post is because Gideon from our last space had that like $1,000 or $100,000 charity bid to get Froggy back on, and they're like, oh, well, this kind of looks bad if we don't bring him back on and deny 100K to charity. So we're just gonna say he's off, but we're donating 100K to charity, so don't worry.
Yo, that's so fucking funny too, because it doesn't change anything. There's still 100K on the table that they're not accepting for charity.
Yeah,
like,
additional 100K.
Bro, they should have just matched it and put him back on the card and stop being a.
Yeah, in case anyone's confused, last space that we did, there was like 4,000 people here. Gideon said that he would donate $100,000 to Creator Clash to go to all the charities if they put Froggy back on, and they've been silent. Like, look, as a fan of this YouTube stuff and watching YouTubers and whatnot, do you know how frustrating it is to not hear from either one of them, Anissa or iDubbbz? Like they should just make a YouTube video and explain what's going on.
Yeah, I think they should explain as well, or just say we made a mistake and like revert it. Because like if I look very generously, like benefit of the doubt with what Harley was saying and what they're supposedly saying, like I guess it's in the clause that you shouldn't like shit talk or whatever. So he shat talk, and they're like, okay, you're off. But I still think like after listening to Froggy here and seeing the whole thing go down, like you can see that Froggy made a mistake. He didn't know that was in violation, and he clearly is a fan of everybody on the card and wants to do this for charity, and he's ready to fight. So just let him back on. It's not like Froggy, if you're let back on, it's not like you're gonna make another OnlyFans joke about Denise, right? Like,
No, I mean, like if they make me sign a contract that I can't, then I won't.
You know, I find it so strange because it's like, you know,
That was a joke. That was a joke. Obviously, I wouldn't do any more
And
OnlyFans
to
jokes.
and to throw my own thing in there, if they let Froggy back on the card, I won't tweet at Ian or Anissa ever again. I'll shut up forever. How about that?
Yeah, obviously, because here's the deal. I got confused because like here's the thing. If Ian comes out and makes the announcement, you know, with everybody seeing where he's like, it don't bother me. OnlyFans stuff, it don't bother me. It don't bother me that dudes are jerking off to my girlfriend. He said all that, so like that's all the information I got to go off of. So if I come out and say like I'm a subscriber to Anissa OnlyFans, in the back of my mind, my data says Ian don't give a shit about this. Like he ain't gonna give a fuck about this. Chris is gonna be the one that's upset. But obviously, I've misunderstood the situation.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
man.
so Nick, you basically the next day after he got kicked off, you tweeted out a tweet that you were shocked that like he wasn't put back on. I tweeted out something similar. Talk us through that.
Yeah, dude, it's just kind of fucking crazy. It feels like such an easy solution. Just put him back on the card. All the like bad blood ends. Everyone leaves him alone. But I mean, as much as I was surprised in the moment, then I remembered who these people are, and it's actually, I guess, in the cards that they would come and double down like this. I don't know. This is who these people have become the last few years. So maybe I shouldn't have been surprised to begin with.
Like yeah, but yeah, so yeah, like if they let me back on the card, obviously no, I'm not gonna come back. Now I know the OnlyFans stuff is like they ain't like it upsets them. So obviously, if I had known it upset them that much, because there's no clarification on the internet, I'm getting mixed signals.
Josh, can you
So now
try
that
to
I have the information,
find Pat God and bring him up here? I can't find him. Go ahead.
okay, I'll try to do that.
It's just like for me, like if you have this like, you know, code of conduct thing, like that sounds like a corporation. That sounds like I don't know, like a workplace environment. That doesn't really necessarily like work with like YouTubers and content creators and public figures, right?
Well, really, your events have something similar. I mean, like you're involved with all the Misfit stuff, right? Is there
I
anything that like people can't say that could get them in legal trouble from your own
there
thing?
might there might be something in there. I actually don't know. I'd have to
I
like
mean,
ask the
I almost got kicked out a couple of times, but I was given a warning. They told me shut the fuck up, which I which I did.
and the thing is too, just to clarify, at the end of the day, I don't want to make this like about me. Like whatever's best for charity. If they want me to go fight, if y'all want me to go fight, I'll go fight. If y'all don't want me to go fight, you know, it ain't really that big of a deal. I ain't trying to get fucked over legally or no
Actually,
shit
that's
though.
a great point that Sam made. I remember Sam made some type of joke somewhere. It is Sam Hyde, ladies and gentlemen. And I remember reaching out to Sam being like, bro, just none of this until the fight. Like, I remember those conversations. It's like, so Froggy should have been the same thing, right? Someone should have called Froggy or emailed him or texted him and said, hey, you got to delete this tweet,
No,
something.
100%. If Ian would have sent me a message and been like, hey, Froggy, if you had been like Froggy, I don't appreciate like you subscribing to Anissa's OnlyFans, I would be like, oh my bad. Like, but nobody, Ian didn't reach out to me. It was like, hey, he didn't reach out to me and let me know that Anissa's OnlyFans was fucking off limits. So like, if he would have gave me that message or called me, like we could have had like a long talk
Here,
about that situation, then that could have been cleared up. But that didn't happen. I just got a text I responded to, and then nothing else after that.
here's
So like,
another question, right? shouldn't iDubbbz and Anissa have some like compassion for Froggy Fresh when the mother is saying like short jokes and stuff to him? Like the mother was saying some awful, awful things. And I know the internet has seen some screenshots, but you haven't seen them all because remember.
You know what? And to be honest with you, I just want to clarify really, they want to know the main reason I even made them responses, because I wanted to draw attention to what I knew was already happening, because I had this gut feeling that I was about to get kicked out. So once I seen Anissa's mom talking about it public, I was like, oh shit, they're about to kick me out. Like, look at how Anissa's mom is already talking about me. I wanted people to see the tone of like how things were ran right there. So like I just wanted to get ahead of, because I was like, oh, I got a feeling they're about to kick me out because like they're acting weird. I didn't get no text response from Justin Tracy, like, and I was like, look at Anissa's mom already talking about kicking out the imp. I was like, look, that was the main reason I wanted to show that, because I was like, look, this is the tone that they're about to kick me out with.
Yeah,
And
you knew the decision had been made. Was when you saw that, was that before or after you made the OnlyFans tweet, Froggy?
After I seen that, I retweet. After I seen like Hope is about replacing the imp, I already knew like, oh, they're kicking me out.
And then
So I just retweeted it. I retweeted it with the OnlyFans comment about
yeah,
iDubbbz being a pimp, because like I knew like, oh, they're kicking me out anyways. Like fuck it.
yeah, man, they were gunning for you.
Keem, you were talking about like the stuff with Anissa's mom. Where did that doxing thing come from? Is that like you, or is somebody saying that?
So basically, Harley jumped into this call and he made a bunch of points like real fast where no one could respond to them, and then kept talking and wouldn't shut up. One of the things that he said was something about Froggy doxing Anissa's mom, and Froggy's counter to that is like, no, like her Twitter is very much public. There's a whole article on
there's like articles over Twitter.
She's like publicly known as her daughter's moderator, going back as far as like 2016. Kotaku did a whole write up on her, not on Anissa, on Anissa's mom. Like this is a public figure too.
Oh well, public figure. You know, it's not like I don't know if you'd call her a public figure.
She's not being hidden. I'll say that. She's pretty much out in the open, as out in the open as you could be.
She's out in the open. She's, you know, people know who she is, but she's not. I wouldn't say she's a public figure. You know, but you know, as soon as Froggy started responding to her, she deactivated her Twitter, and for me, that felt like real suspicious. Like they're trying to hide like part of the story, if that makes sense, right? So like Froggy's reacting, he's angry, you know, you're calling me an imp, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then she deletes the whole history of everything she said. So I'm kind of frustrated that iDubbbz and Anissa haven't taken in consideration that part of this is just Froggy reacting to the mom going off, being completely unhinged.
Yeah, but this new context adds a little bit to the discussion. So, like Harley was talking about, well, my mom would go and say some out of pocket shit. Okay, well, that's cool. I don't think your mom is as online as Anissa's mom. If Anissa's mom is moderating chat for like 4 years, odds are she understands internet etiquette and she knows what's going on, right? So she probably knew if she were to call out this person, there's a there's a chance this person's going to respond, right? I don't. Let's not pretend this. Let's not infantilize her.
It's kind of weird how she's tweeting. Why don't you just text your daughter? That's strange. Anyhow, what do you think, Pack out about all these new developments? You're new on stage.
I was actually curious because I saw the post that they just made, and it seemed like they were trying to insinuate that he was having like multiple different breaches of their contract, like going back in the past. Is this like a topic that had been brought up at all, or is there any like actual backing behind that, or is this literally just about the OnlyFans thing still? Like, is there any new stuff that surfaced, or?
We don't know because they didn't tell us. They just said multiple violations.
Froggy, do you have any idea at all what they could possibly be talking about, or?
Dude, this is the only thing I can guess. Like, I can tell you, I can break the timeline of events down for you. Sam Hyde is the greatest comedian of all time. I'm training boxing. I was like, this is my end. I could go work with Sam Hyde. So I reach out to Sam Hyde. I'm like, yo, like you like, let's train. He's like, cool, come up. Sam Hyde retweets my video of me going to Providence. 15 minutes later, Ian's calling me. I'm getting out of the shower. I say, let me call you back in 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes goes by. I'm still like almost done getting dressed. He calls me back again. I say, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey, hi. I seen some concerning things on your Twitter. What is your relationship with Sam Hyde? That was literally the first thing he said.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And
But
I said, and I
Froggy,
was like, immediately,
Froggy,
dude, I didn't like the
what is
tone of like feeling like I was being investigated. It felt like a police questioning.
so
Was that
what was that
iDubbbz?
conversation? Did he tell you, hey, don't say anything about Sam? Did he give you instructions to move forward with training with Sam?
No, so like I don't remember literally. I don't remember exactly how the phone call went. It was like 3 minutes probably, and I was like, he was like, so what is your relationship with Sam Hyde? And I was like, what is this, an investigation? Because I was like, whoa, so like this beef is that real? Like as soon as I'm going to meet Sam Hyde, like it's already a problem.
Was this iDubbbz? By the way, this is iDubbbz, right?
Yeah, this is Ian, and so
It's
I was
actually
like,
crazy.
yeah, so I was like, is this an investigation? Because it was weird to me. And he was like, yeah, it actually kind of is. And I'm like, nah, bro, this isn't something I'm interested in, basically. And so I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, what? This is weird, well, like basically. And it just went us back and forth with me being like, nah, like not feeling this phone call. Like you could text me if you want. And then like, so he started texting me like about like, he's got like a problem, like some drama, like Sam Hyde said some hurtful things about him and his wife. And oh yeah, we're on the phone call, and he's like, Sam Hyde said some hurtful things about me and Anissa, and I'm like, dude, like, go to. I said, go talk to a therapist. Like, why is this my problem? Like, why are you putting the? Do you know how many problems I already got at home? Like, do you know how many problems I have in my own life?
Yo,
Do you know how many problems I have in my own life? So now you're telling me
Damn.
like I can't be friends with Sam Hyde, and this is your problem with him? Like, why is that my problem?
And
dude, it's actually
you know what
crazy.
the
What the
fucked
fuck?
up thing is? iDubbbz could just call me. If iDubbbz called me, like I've told him this, I told him if you ask me to stop, I'll stop. Like iDubbbz could have called me and been like, "Hey Sam,
That's the thing, dude. It's like, hey, look at Sam. Don't you think the best thing that could come of this is if you and Ian just squash it? Because really, like, what is the beef between any of us?
if he had
It don't
called
mean
me, bro,
nothing.
if he had called me and he was like, Sam, I know you're training Froggy Fresh. If you fuck around on Twitter and come at me on Twitter, I'm gonna pull his fight." I would have been like, "Cool. I don't want to get anybody's fight fucked up. I don't want to ruin anybody's day. I'll shut the fuck up." Like he could have just been a man and called me.
You know,
God
it's
damn.
actually
Honestly,
Sam. It's actually
honestly,
crazy to me, real quick, because like obviously there's like an unwritten rule on the internet and like real life, like be ready to take what you give out. You know what I mean? Like for example, like Keemstar, right? Like he just talks shit to people all the time, but he's not surprised when a bunch of people start talking shit back to him. It's the same way with me. You know what I mean? Like if I have people like saying horrible shit to me, like I expect it. It's kind of what I deserve. iDubbbz literally like grew his fucking career off of just like in the most vulgar manner, just shit talking and literally trashing on people, right? For you could say for whatever reason, but like it's almost crazy to believe that someone who went so far from just shitting on people is so sensitive now and can't take the slightest amount of criticism that a little OnlyFans joke by Froggy Fresh is willing he's willing to go and risk $500,000 for charity because of an OnlyFans joke against his wife. I mean, how much of a sensitive little bitch do you have to be? What the fuck?
He's got that
dude,
ego, bro. He's got that ego, and he knows he could call. Like I'm not a sociopath. I'm not gonna like torture somebody that can't take it. He knows he could call me and tell me to just stop at any time. Like the last time. I mean, Jet's in here. Jet, the last time we talked to him on the phone, I had Julian text him from the phone and say 911. There's a problem. Please call. And I just called me. But
See, dude, Sam is just messing around, and I think sometimes people take what Sam does like too seriously. And like really all Sam is, he's a comedian that takes it all the way to the limit and then won't tell you he's fucking around because it breaks the joke.
But if the
And that's the way Sam
point
is.
being, if iDubbbz called me and was like, "Yo, shut up the fuck up and let's smooth this over and I'll get Froggy Fresh's fight back," I'd be like, "Cool, you'll never hear from me again. I'll never tweet at you and Anissa again. Get my boy back on the like. I don't care. I don't have an ego like that. I'm not petty." But
Josh, can you bring Mutahar up? Can you bring Mutahar up?
Yeah, I will. One sec.
And I just want to say this, like, the way you describe that phone call, if I'm iDubbbz, right, I wouldn't call you and be like doing an investigation. I'd be like, look, me and Sam don't get along. We put a lot of time and energy in this clash thing. I don't want it to be about Sam Hyde. So just don't let it hurt the event. All right. Go train with him, have fun, but don't let it hurt the event. Don't make it about Sam Hyde. That's what I would have said to you if I was iDubbbz.
Right, and guess what? Like I didn't even plan on releasing none of the Sam Hyde content until after the event.
Didn't you tell them that? I thought you told them that.
Ian requested it through text. He requested that I did that. What I didn't like that he requested that, because that's not. I don't think that's appropriate. I was like, I don't think you should be telling me when I can't release content. Like, this is my career. It's what I do for a living.
But you complied with it, right?
But I was going to anyways. But I didn't like people telling me that. I thought that was out of line. Because it's not my problem that you have personal beef with the greatest comedian in the world. If I go to Providence, Rhode Island, and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content. And it's got nothing to do with you. Not everything that people do with Sam Hyde involves iDubbbz, and I think that he misinterprets that. And it's like, so for him to tell me, hey, could you wait until after the event to release that? In my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, I could, but it's weird for you to tell me to do that because it's got nothing to do with you.
I feel like they should just have it in the contracts. It's like no Sam Hyde anywhere near this event. Like, if it's just that volatile.
Or they could just be maybe they just don't be pussies. That would work.
I see
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal option, but like, if this is such a fucking like response to this, maybe just straight up mention it before you like kick people out of your fights and stuff and make this whole shit show.
I wouldn't even take that personally at this point. I wouldn't even take that personally at this point. I think they should have that in the boilerplate there.
So I see Def Noodles has requested to come up on stage. I did try to reach out to you like privately like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but then your attorney told my attorney not to reach out to you and not to talk to you. So, because of the lawsuit, like, we're going to have to talk through lawyers. I apologize, but we can't have you on stage.
Can you add your lawyer to the call?
Imagine Def Noodles' lawyer and my lawyer up here debating this Sam Hyde fucking Froggy Fresh.
You guys are pleading the fucking fifth or something every 5 seconds.
Wait,
the lawyer's just monitoring their speech.
Keem, are you legally allowed to talk shit about Def Noodles right now? Like, will you get legal repercussions?
Yeah, I can say whatever I want, but my attorneys tell me not to, and I'm sure his attorneys told him not to say anything about me,
Okay.
It's like one of those things.
Fuck you, Def Noodles, you little bitch.
Shut up, Pat God. Don't do that. Don't get me in trouble.
I don't speak for Keem. I speak for myself.
Anyhow, back on subject, please.
Can we point out how Pat God brought up criticism in general about like this whole thing? He's not able to accept it. It's funny because like his content is what created like the modern drama sphere. Like everything that everybody does now is like downwind of what he was doing 5 years ago. So I just find that funny where he is now.
Imagine a guy like iDubbbz creating a boxing event, and then the fighters can't talk shit to each other. They can't cause drama or to like stir hype for the event. It has to be like seen as like, this is about safety and athleticism and raising money.
Safety
and it's like,
in a boxing
bro, wait, dude, that's when Harley
that's
said
how
that
they promote it.
That was so fucking weird. Do you see like Creator Clash as your competitor? Because now once everybody starts like fighting with each other, like the truth starts to come out, and they showed a lot of animosity through him there. I mean, do you look at a charity and go, this is something that Misfits competes with?
No. I think Creator Clash is its own thing, and I support it. Like, I like their event. But Anissa and iDubbbz have been constantly overboard talking about safety. If you look at Anissa's Twitter, she has talked about boxer safety so many times, like I can't even count. And it's like, at what point do we have to like just like put our brains back into our skulls and understand that two people are putting on boxing gloves and punching each other in the face? Like, there's nothing safe about a boxing match. Any one of these Creator Clasher fighters can die in that ring. Any boxer can die in that ring at any time. There, like, you can do all different types of things, get a commissioner, good referees, headgear, boxing gloves. You can do things to make it safer, but nobody is safe. You can die in that ring. That's a
I
fact.
will. I'll vouch for Keem on this because I've heard him talk enough behind the scenes about Creator Clash to know that he is a fan and that he's being genuine when he says that he's a supporter of that. And I think Keem is just a fan of influencer boxing in general. Like, he likes cool shit the same way we like cool shit. I like Creator Clash. I think it's fun. However, the safety to talk about the safety shit with Creator Clash, and Nissa is completely unhinged on that one because the mismatches at Creator Clash are worse than any mismatches anywhere else in influencer boxing, with the exception of Jay Swingler versus Churdleys. Like the Creator Clash shit, Harley versus Aaron from Game Grumps. If Harley was like playing nice that night, he could have like put that kid into a fucking coma. Like the mismatches are not good on Creator Clash, man. It's like a lot of it is like one guy that's like fit and knows how to throw with power versus like a skinny fat pear shaped dude that like thinks it's a big joke.
Here's the issue. This is the main issue. Is iDubbbz and Anissa look at me like I'm their competition, and the stuff that I do in influencer boxing is their
That's
competition.
stupid.
And I know that because they constantly take digs at me in interviews.
That's
like,
so dumb,
there's
man.
this.
That's so not the way it. Like, I wouldn't listen, Keem. If you were under attack for anything else, I wouldn't step up and be like, "Hey, Keem's the best guy in the world." But I know that that's not what you're thinking. I know that you're like wholeheartedly. You just want to see cool influencer boxing happen.
Yeah, no, Keem is not one of the type of people that's gonna look down on events, even if he thinks like no matter what. He's not the type of person gonna look down on another event.
You know, I just want to add real quick too. Like, you know, a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's different because he's not shit talking a fighter. He's talking someone who's like running the event or whatever, right? But if you like go online, like you could literally watch like 10-minute compilations of like Dana White like beefing and shit talking with like other UFC fighters and like them literally shit talking each other back and forth.
Bro,
You
we
think
had
Dana
we
White's
had the
just gonna
same
take
point with like Vince McMahon. Like, this shit happens even if it's not fighter to
Yeah, we're not
fighter.
fucking like CEOs
Like,
and highlight. We're fucking
uh,
YouTubers,
It's the
bro.
entertainment business. It's entertainment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anything that stirs the pot, it's entertainment. It adds to the fuel. Like, it's just stupid to try to like dismiss all of it.
Especially when this is one of the guys that like generated the drama sphere on YouTube. Like, this was the
Yeah.
guy.
Dude,
not
this
just
is
a
not saying
drama
nothing
sphere,
like
but it's also like you go to other people's events and you spout what, like the N word or some shit, and it's like you're out there being a provocateur. Like, this is your fucking like, this is who you are. This is how you got popular, and it's like now
I mean,
Like,
have you
I think
fucking tack
iDubbbz
on.
broke a couple violations at the
Yeah,
TanaCon.
dude, this guy drove up to TanaCon, scared the shit out of her, which was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, which is not safe, by the way. If we're gonna fucking throw safety into the
Yeah.
fucking mix, right?
Oh, but he's
That's a
bettering
little
himself, Muda.
dangerous.
He's a better man now.
but at the end of the day, everyone has a right to change, right? Everyone has a right to be, change for the better, how they see the better is. But I don't think this is the better. This isn't
I don't
better
know,
for
dude. The
the
guy was like
fans.
28 years old when this shit was being like. You should probably know your shit by then, but whatever.
No, but what I'm saying is that is in all these interviews, iDubbbz is constantly saying, "Well, I've changed and I've grown up, and I met my fans, and I didn't want to be like them, and I didn't want to, cultivate an audience like that. So I've changed." And that's what he's always saying over and over
that
again.
hurt. That hurts me because I was an iDubbbz fan.
Yeah, my point is this: I don't think that's good for Creator Clash. Like, I don't think this new positivity and all that stuff is necessarily good. Like, fights need storylines. Like, fights need like some anticipation, and that's what Froggy was doing, right? He was talking shit to his
bro,
opponent.
you can't spin it. You can't spin it about positivity and love. It's literally two people going in a cage and beating the shit out of each other for entertainment. Like, how could that like, they're literally just putting their physical well-being on the line for entertainment. Like, obviously it's going to be like rotating around toxicity in a certain extent.
One thing I found very strange is that now I'm not an expert in this, but I always thought that like hits to the head caused like dementia or could lead to dementia, and that's one of the charities. So they're raising money for dementia at a boxing event. It just always seemed like an oxymoron to me. I was so confused by that.
I mean,
Anyhow, I don't know where we go from here. It's like we didn't get like Mutahar. You read the statement. What were your thoughts?
I thought that shit was a nice Chat GPT prompt. I don't fucking believe that was a goddamn human being writing that shit. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. So everyone's talking about like the toxicity and how like toxicity is good for promoting event, and I agree and stuff. But I can kind of see what iDubbbz is trying to do, make it more like charity, less like fuck you or whatever. But I think there can be like a balance. I feel like they're going so extreme in the like, oh, don't even say shit. Don't even say fuck. Don't even like allude to a joke, Like it could still be fun, tongue in cheek, like back and forth, while still knowing it's for charity and being generally positive. It's not like it has to be the most toxic thing in the world, but at least allow the fighters to make such like.
If we're gonna call the OnlyFans joke like toxic, man, your barometer for toxicity is like at the fucking center of the earth.
That's what I was
that
thinking.
low.
I
And
know,
also,
right? Like,
and also, Josh, why don't like what bothers me is why can't they just be transparent? Like instead of just saying, like, "Oh, we're kicking off Froggy because of a bunch of different reasons," like just say we're kicking off Froggy because he made a joke towards the promoter's, the promoter about her OnlyFans, and that's why. Like, just stop like dancing around the subject. Just say what it is. We all know the reason why you did it. Why are you trying to fucking hide it from people? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Like, who are you tricking, right? Just like be transparent, like a YouTuber does, like a commentary YouTuber does. Just sit down, talk, and be like, "Yo, this is my thought." You can disagree with it. We're all gonna shit on him for the reason, but at least like just say that it's because of the OnlyFans joke. Just say I got pissed. I don't know.
Agree. At this point in Creator Clash 3, I mean, we're going to be looking at Ryan's toy review versus Fred or something. Like, it's going, like, who are they going to get that's going to play by these rules? Like, I'm so lost. Like,
I think H3 has a couple more employees he could pull, so that's a couple more fighters, right?
By the end of it, it's just going to be Ethan's staff and like Hassan's friends.
So wait, what's the deal with the
It's
lawsuit?
one thing if your
actually
fighter. Listen, it's one thing if your fighter is like one day going around like he's turned full Kanye. You know what I mean? Like you got your full anti-Semitism, you got some racism thrown in there, like everything under the mix, right? But it's like this is such a like light jab, even, and this is coming from a person whose history is not delivering light fucking jabs. So it just comes across as super duper weird to me. It's like why? Like it'd be one thing if this was like a fucking event hosted by like Blippi or Ryan's Toys Reviews, right? Like, oh shit, it's a children-oriented event. I get it. You can't even fucking say the word fudge if you wanted to. But like,
look,
this is hosted by like, what?
guys, we gotta understand one important point, all right, that I keep forgetting about. At Creator Clash 1, they banned Sam Hyde, and they made statements that Sam Hyde would never be in any reputable program. No reputable boxing organization would have Sam Hyde. I saw an injustice. I wanted to do right by that, right? And Sam Hyde fucking boxed on DAZN in Misfits 1, and he trended worldwide, went absolutely viral. And so maybe it's salt from all of that. Like the minute Froggy goes to train with Sam, it's like, no, not again.
100%. I think that's listen, I know psychopaths. I've worked in mental institutions. I've worked with prisoners. I know how these people think. I know how the lowest of humanity thinks. I know how iDubbbz thinks, and I know how drunk Anissa thinks. And that's exactly the situation, Keem.
Sam, can you talk about the first Creator Clash and the conflict that your team had with Anissa and Ian? Can you talk about that? Like what that experience was like?
Of course. Anissa and Ian. we should start calling him Ian. By the way, that's him taking her last name is so awesome, man. Ian.
I forgot.
So I bought 5 front row tickets. I spent something like $20,000 on front row tickets for Creator Clash 1. And I forgot exactly why Ian had his panties in a bunch over my existence at that point. But what he did was, instead of canceling my tickets and instead of telling me that I wasn't invited, he waited until he was going to wait until I showed up there in person. The reason I didn't show up there in person at Creator Clash 1 was because I was too lazy and I didn't want to fly down. But and I also thought it would be funny to have the 5 front row seats be empty. But yeah, he was gonna spring that on me. He was gonna wait until I got to Tampa to tell me that I was banned from the event. How crazy is that, man?
No, that sounds familiar. I'm gonna tell you why that sounds familiar. Because when I told him, when he asked me to about the Sam Hyde stuff, and was like, without telling me, it was like he was without telling me I wasn't allowed to go work with Sam Hyde. It was like he kept telling me I wasn't allowed to work Sam Hyde over the course of like 20 text exchanges that like we could get into another time. But I kept asking him, okay, look, I'm going to work with Sam Hyde. It's got nothing to do with you. Am I kicked out of the event? And he would say da 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 da, and not answer my question. I say, dude, look, am I kicked out of the event? And then he'd send me another paragraph not answering my question. And I'd be like, dude, am I kicked out of the event? Like, I have to schedule practice for this week right now with my coach. He wouldn't answer my question. And then he was like, ultimately, it's your decision. That was the last text we had. So I'm like, ultimately, it's my decision. What? I'm going to work with Sam Hyde. He's a comedian. It's got nothing to do with you. So, yes. So I said, okay, thanks. I'll fight. So that was like a week before I'm going to go see Sam Hyde. So then I'm in Providence for a week. So then he waits like 2 weeks to kick me out. Like, that's why I kept asking him, like, am I done now? Because I need to know. Because I'm scheduling training and stuff. Like, that sounds similar to Sam knowing he was going to, like, spring in on him to the last minute, wait till you get to Tampa, and then tell you you're not allowed in. Like, that's why I'm asking for a heads up. Like, obviously, this whole Sam Hyde thing's got you shook for some reason when you could literally just call the dude and just be like, hey, Sam, like, let's squash all this. I know, like, it ain't – because it's not like you think Sam sits in his office all day while he's writing the script for damn fucking MD2 and shit. You think he's sitting there like, hey, how can we fuck with Ian and
Yup.
Anissa today? While I'm trying to get my $1 million
I
brand off the
am.
ground.
Dude, Froggy, I think that you should do a live stream, like a whole concert, like a whole show, raise a bunch of money for charity on April 15th.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever makes people happy about the situation. If y'all want me to go away, I'll go away. If y'all want me to fight, I'll fight. If y'all want me to do a concert, I do a concert. Whatever makes people happy, like, cool.
Well, think about how many people are not going to be watching Creator Clash because you're not involved, right?
Well, I mean, they could watch both because, I mean, shit, that's more to charity. Whatever y'all want to do.
I'm just saying, like, that money should still go to your charities that you were trying to raise for, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who's got it worse than fucking kids with cancer? That's like the only fun part of life.
Bro, is it just crazy? Like, Froggy's just such a nice guy. Like, he's like the least like toxic person I think I actually know. It's like insane.
It's funny because
like,
Anissa's mom was more toxic than he was in the toxic exchange.
I know.
I only got toxic like that because I knew I was kicked out, and I was just like, "Fuck it."
It's weird, just like of all people, to happen to like Froggy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
Like I said, it'd be one thing if it was the most fucked up jokes that you were going off, if you were just saying some wild shit. But it's like, it was one very light OnlyFans joke, and it's just all right, removed. So unless there's like a million things you've done behind the scenes that we have no fucking idea of, it just sounds like such an over fucking act.
That's what they're making it seem like. They're making it seem like there's a million things that he's done behind the scenes. That's what they're literally saying.
That's why I said the Chat GPT prompt. It's like, none of those fucking things mean shit to me if you're like, just say, oh, because of a million things behind the scenes that you also don't elaborate on. Like, what? Like, if you told me what he did behind the scenes, maybe I'd be more sympathetic towards your cause, right?
Yeah, we have no details. Like, how? Look, if I'm going to be fair and balanced, how can I when I don't know your side? All I see is what's available to me publicly, and then you kick him. And I'm like, well, that's an overreaction. Like, give me your side. What exactly is the issue?
Well, they're saying, Keemstar, they're saying that he violated their quote-unquote legally binding code of conduct. They're saying he violated that. So my question is making an OnlyFans joke part of the legally binding code of conduct? I mean, Froggy, have you seen the code of conduct?
He broke the law, damn it.
Yeah, he broke the law, I guess. Or some shit.
It's just, it's so ridiculous.
The craziest part too is like usually people with OnlyFans and shit, like I've met a lot of people with OnlyFans, and usually they're like the last people to get offended at an OnlyFans joke. Like people that do fucking OnlyFans. That's why it's almost so surprising to me that like she's that
Bro,
sensitive.
she's not just an OnlyFans model. She was a fucking titty streamer who routinely had to like fight off trolls in chat for years. Then she became an OnlyFans model. She's been dealing with this stuff for like the last half decade. Why is this still a problem?
And what I'll tell you what the problem is they send out mixed messages about not having a problem with it, but then having a problem with it at the same time.
Well, yeah, it's fake it till you make it, but they never made it.
For anybody that doesn't know the history, this is why it's so infuriating to us, like to anyone that's been on the internet for a while, right? Like, so iDubbbz was the content cop, right? Leafy was like an internet bully. So he goes and he targets Leafy, and he's trying to find something that Leafy is insecure about, right? And he brings up the point that Leafy has no chin. Like, now he's found Leafy's kryptonite, right? And bullies the shit out of Leafy, right? So it's like, that's what this guy did. But the kryptonite to iDubbbz is Sam Hyde. And we're watching iDubbbz just lose his mind, hurt his own boxing event over Sam Hyde over and over and over again. It's like his absolute kryptonite.
You've taken like a year from this dude's life, all because of what? A fucking interview, a fucking documentary that went badly, and now he wakes up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
And like I feel like I should just address like one thing too, and like I feel like not to like shit talk nobody or anything like that, but like the whole like thing with like Anissa's like, oh, Anissa's like a mother hen that just like tucks you in and you get a cup of milk and a cookie before bed. Like Anissa never reached out to me one time about anything regarding my training a single time. And I'm not even trying to be like, it's just like when they come out with these statements, it's like it's such a caring environment where everyone is happy and we all wear the same Nike tracksuits. It's just like, no, just don't do that. And then I don't got to address it.
Right. Dad kept making those statements that, like, look, Anissa's the one that calls you all the time to check in on you and make sure you're okay. And like, maybe that's true with Dad. Maybe that is his experience. But that's not been Froggy's. Like, Froggy has said from the very beginning, they don't call him.
No, dude, I got 3 calls from Ian, bro. I got one call from Ian when we were trying to figure out how I could pay for training leading up to the event. I got another call from Ian when he was about to fight Greg Paul. Hold up. Here's another opportunity. This is what really blows my mind, okay? Greg Paul was in the cards for Ian to fight. Greg Paul. And I'm like, I suggested this before. I suggested it to Ian when we first started talking. I was like, dude, you should fight Greg Paul. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. Then Greg Paul's in the card. He calls me. I'm like, dude, do it 100%. Like, this fight will sell out if you fucking fight Greg Paul. 1,000%. He doesn't fucking take the fight with Greg Paul. You want to know why? Because Greg Paul has got this motherfucking roofing hands. Them I fix fucking railroad track hands. And I'll tell you right now, Ian didn't not want to get beat up by no 42-year-old dude who can do your roof in fucking 2.5 hours, who done landscaping for all of Ohio, who's literally probably got the state on his fucking back. So Ian did not want that. That was, look, you know what?
I've been saying this.
So that was the second call. Now look, the third call is 15 minutes after Sam Hyde retweets me. So we got one call about here's how we can figure out your training money. Second call is, hey, I could fight Greg Paul, but I'm not gonna. Third call is, hey, buddy, heard you know Sam Hyde. Got some people coming to your house, not literally, but like, hey, buddy, heard you know Sam Hyde. What's going on here? I know everything that Sam Hyde does from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep revolves around me. So what are you guys cooking up over there?
Yeah, to talk about Greg Paul would have destroyed iDubbbz. Greg Paul
would destroy fucking anybody in this. Greg Paul, let's give respect to Greg Paul in the state of Ohio and what they've made. Because the fucking Pauls, them ain't no fucking joke. I wouldn't fight Greg Paul if I was Ian. So I'm not even mad at him for that. But I'm saying if it's for charity, you got to take that Greg Paul ass whipping and you sell out that damn arena.
Greg Paul is like one of the scariest humans alive. I can't imagine somebody actually fighting that guy. Like, he's just very scary.
It's kind of funny, after all the safety talk, the biggest ass whooping in Creator Clash 2 happened on their own Twitter.
Yeah, they did it to themselves too. They fucking shot themselves in the face. I can't even believe how I barely nobody did any hardly any work on this. Like, I hardly said shit. They just ripped their own face right off.
Is saying that you're gonna subscribe to somebody's OnlyFans, like, is that really like offensive? Like,
Yeah, bro,
How
that's
is that
worth
even an
getting beheaded,
insult? If
bro.
you don't care about the
What
fact
the
that you're on
fuck?
OnlyFans, how is that even an insult?
yeah, it's like you have an OnlyFans
I'm
though,
gonna
but you
follow
do
you on
have an
Twitter. I'm
OnlyFans.
gonna follow you on Twitter.
Yo,
Like
I
that.
just need to add real quick. I was doing some like research just because I was bored, and like I was finding videos of Anissa and like Chris Ray Gun from a while ago, like literally like going on dates and shit, and like heavy flirting with each other. So like if you actually look at that and then think that Froggy Fresh is Chris Ray Gun's opponent, it actually makes so much
Bro,
sense for
look
why
it. Can
that's a
I
valid
speak some
criticism.
truth? Can I speak some truth as far from my perspective, bro? Look it. I already knew Ian and Chris Reagan had a history. Like I already knew they had some stuff going on. So when Ian got a hold of me and was like, "Hey, look, you want to be in Creator Clash?" He was like, "Hey, you want to be in Creator Clash? Here's your two options." And it's like one was like this 115-pound boy who looks like he had never like who looks like he was could walk sometimes, and the other person was Chris Reagan. So obviously Ian knows, okay, Tyler's not gonna beat up some kid who like walks sometimes. He was like, he's gonna take the Chris Reagan fight. I already knew Ian and I already knew Anissa and Chris Reagan had history. I was like, damn, I see all the cards now. Chris Reagan went to Creator Clash 1 and like went there and he probably had sex that night and was like, shit, I could beat up fucking Michael Reeves and Stephen Graham. And he was like, Anissa, put me in this bitch. And he was like, this is how it happened. And he was like, oh shit, fucking Anissa's boyfriend's gonna be fighting. He's gonna win his fucking fight against these fucking nerds. And then it's gonna be like Anissa and fucking him celebrate while I get my fucking face punched in on whoever I fight after I turn down Greg Paul or whatever. So I'm thinking this motherfucker wants me to beat the shit out of Chris Reagan because he knows like I'm one of these creators that don't fucking got like pillow hands. So
Wait, Froggy.
he brings my trailer park ass in there because he wants me to fuck up Chris Reagan. And I was like, I mean, fuck it, whatever like brings money for charity is what I'm down for.
Froggy.
Oh shit! Oh shit! The block just got hot.
I think I figured it out. I think it all makes sense now. All right. I think Anissa still has a luring emotional connection to Chris Reagan. I think they still have something brewing in the
Bro,
background.
look
I
it.
think
It wouldn't have to be like this, but when you start threatening lawsuits, it's like once you tell me, "Hey, shut up, buddy," it's like, "What? No,
no,
no, I can't
because
shut up."
Froggy, think about it. Anissa secretly has a connection to Chris Reagan. She's seeing your videos of you on Twitter, absolutely jacked, ripped, ready to beat the shit out of him. She
Bro,
can't
dude,
help.
there's
She
like
can't help
websites.
watch
Yeah,
her
dude, the
secret love,
websites,
Chris Reagan, get his ass kicked. So
dude,
she
the
needs to do
websites
anything
are
she can to stop it.
right. I didn't even know I was this good at boxing, but the websites are giving me like a 93% chance of winning just because they could tell what trailer park I grew up in.
Dude, this is wildly insane because, like, look, what kind of proof or evidence is there out there of Chris Ray Gun and Anissa like being a thing? Because it's
I'll tell you
always.
what evidence there is. I'll tell you what evidence there is. Bro, when we gone out to damn Denny's in this when that Mucha Lucha, shout out to John Hennigan, the Mucha Lucha wrestling event. Bro, Chris and Ian, I mean Anissa and Chris got so much damn chemistry. I swear to God, they were damn talking the whole damn night back and forth to each other. When I would try to talk to Chris Reagan, it looked like Anissa would get upset at me. And I'm to be honest with you, Chris. And to be
Oh
honest with you, I
shit!
was feeling Chris Reagan too, so I even get it. Because I was feeling Chris Reagan. I was like, dude, if I was bi or gay, I fuck with Chris Reagan heavy. So
Whoa,
it's like when
what?
me and Chris would be chatting it up. When me and Chris would be chatting it up, it was like Anissa be looking at me like I'm trying to take her fucking man.
God damn. Keem, to answer your question too, I'm literally watching a video right now on Anissa's YouTube channel, and she's like basically, like, it looks like they're dating. Like if you were to show this to anybody, they look like they're dating. They're going out to
So
eat at restaurants, like fancy restaurants by themselves. Like it looks like they're dating.
So the theory goes like this, right? She couldn't date Chris Ray Gun because Chris Ray Gun started dating Lacey Green. She lost her opportunity. So she started dating a Chris Ray Gun lookalike, which is iDubbbz, because they look similar. That's the online theory and meme.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you guys remember when Anissa was like trying to show her boobs to Leafy?
What?
You guys don't remember that? I don't know
I
if I have
don't.
that accurate, but there was like she was making the moves on Leafy like a year before the content cop went out where iDubbbz attacked Leafy.
Bro, what the fuck?
Josh, do you have those screenshots? Like, what were the tweets? I can't remember. It's been such a long time ago.
The screenshots of what?
Anissa hitting on Leafy. Something about she wanted to show him her boobs or something. I can't remember.
That's before my time. That's like 2016, dude. That's
Aren't
like
there a ton of screenshots of like Anissa trashing iDubbbz to her Patreons or something? Anyone got those screenshots? Because those are funny.
No, well, I don't even know that lore. I know.
You know
her
what?
hitting
You know
on
what I
Leafy.
feel. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I really didn't buy none of this at the beginning until I was living in it. I kept always hearing people saying like, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, and I'd always like, nah, whatever. Like they can work out their problems, and I was never buying into that bullshit. But I swear to God, when like once you live an event, it's like, okay, I think Ian met the wrong person, and then I think it's like now that like I think like the person you would fall in love with, you spend time with, it's like you kind of bond together, and I honestly think to a certain degree like. I honestly think it's just like I think sometimes you bond with the wrong person, it can take you to make the wrong decisions, maybe.
So like Anissa
You
bonded with her
gotta
mom.
watch out who you spend time with, man. That's factual.
Because when I met my wife, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I met my wife, I got better the more time I spent with her because she like was honestly a better person than me. But I feel like, dude, honestly, it seemed like so when Ian is as soon as he starts messing with Anissa, it's like Ian goes from the person who would be dogging people, who would sue people, to then like his event that he's running is suing people. It's like a complete flip.
well, according to them, iDubbbz saying the N word to Tana was actually Anissa's idea. So
And I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know. Like I'm not trying to. Here's the deal. If they can work through this, but here's what I think. At the end of the day, if me making this OnlyFans joke caused this much of a problem, then there's some real pain in that relationship regarding that scenario. So I think it would be okay if Ian just said, "Hey,
I
Anissa."
mean, with the lore that I was like just heard right now, with like Chris and Anissa, maybe it is a sore point because you are kind of referencing them together or whatever. Maybe that, like, if I had to like totally be like open and like try to understand every angle here, even then it's still an overreaction. But like, if you're bringing up like Chris Raygun and Anissa together, I'm sure that's going to be a sore point in any relationship.
I guess
Like,
that them
if somebody brought up if somebody brought up like another ex in my current relationship, I wouldn't like to hear that, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can totally respect that. And like that's the thing is like Ian. So to me, it confuses me because I have like this bravado where it's like, this don't fucking bother me. Like this OnlyFans shit don't bother me. But obviously, when it goes to this point, it's like, oh, there's actually some real pain in this relationship about this scenario. And honestly, I feel like Ian really feels that way. He needs to straight up just talk to Anissa and be like, hey, this shit is breaking my heart and has since you started it. I actually love and care about you. And when
Damn.
people bring this up, it hurts me. So if you stopped, could heal our relationship and we could grow closer together and continue to make sacrifices.
Yo, Froggy,
You're a
dead
good
ass.
kid. You're a fucking good kid, Froggy Fresh. You are a good man.
Dead ass.
Dude,
I think the
you
problem.
have been treated so 1 minute. You have been treated so horrible. You've been shit on by these people. They're threatening to fucking sue you. And you're still just trying to get to the bottom of it. And you're
Honestly,
trying
because
to
honestly, I don't even think divorce is actually the answer. Because everyone's like, you need to leave that bitch, blah blah. But I'll be honest with you, it's like I don't think divorce is actually the answer. Because I think once two people agree, like, hey, we're about to do this shit together, I don't think divorce is ever the answer. So honestly, what they need to do is Ian needs to be like, this is what's fucking me up, and we need to work through this shit because this shit hurt.
So iDubbbz needs to actually man up and tell his wife, like, hey, look, we got some issues. We need to solve them.
Yeah, this shit hurt.
Yeah. Like I was thinking though, like I think part of the problem is, iDubbbz used to have a special power called Virgin Wrath, and he'd take the anger that he had around his virginity, and he would use it as a mechanism to attack other people and to be the iDubbbz that we all knew. And the problem is he finally got some pussy in his life, and now he's just turned into a bitch, and he's lost it. He's lost it. He has no more of that built up aggression. Because now, whenever he wants, he can just go take it out on Anissa. So now it's all gone. Like we need to get iDubbbz's Virgin Wrath back. It's the only way we could possibly fix this conundrum.
I don't know. Does anyone here just think it's possible Ian just sucks now? I'm sorry. I get tired on this whole like Anissa thing. Like, at some point, you have to hold him accountable for the shit that he does.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
like,
I mean,
you guys are putting way too much blame on her. They're
Dude,
both
what it
married.
reminds me of
you
is
have
like
to decide these things together.
what it reminds me of is like it reminds me of instead of And it reminds me of like not to make a crude analogy, but it reminds me of instead of putting clothes on Anissa, he demands that the entire audience is blindfolded.
Wow, that was intelligence right there. That was deep. That was
That was
levels.
deep.
Getting biblical tonight.
That was actually deep, bro. Like, I'm never gonna forget that quote, Froggy. Like, my whole life, I'm gonna remember that.
But what Froggy just said makes perfect sense, right? It's not that they are wrong. It's that the entire audience, everybody mad at the decision, they're the ones that are wrong. It's like it's deep. What is the solution here, though? What's in the future for Froggy Fresh? Like, how do you I mean, because, like, dude, think about it. If you really haven't done anything that wrong, like, don't you feel like you're kind of being dragged by them? Like, they keep saying your behavior, and that you broke conduct policy and your behavior was bad and just shit like that. I feel like you're being dragged by them.
I mean, I feel like I got to address everything back. So honestly, like, you can drag me, but like, I literally refuted everything they've said so far publicly with like a complete response. So like, it's stressful, but at the same time, I mean, all I can do is address the shit.
Are you mad at Harley? Because Harley's like is going hard at you, like more hard than they are.
I mean, what's that gonna do for me? Sit around and be mad at Harley? Like, I'm like trying to chill tonight and go to like eat some good food and go to sleep and shit.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer. Well, guys, I think we covered everything we could cover on this new saga of Creator Clash. Allegedly threatening to sue Froggy Fresh. I can't wait for more updates on this story. And I'm really curious to figure out what's going to happen with the Creator Clash. Will it be this great success, or has this controversy tainted the entire event?
You know what, man? I really hope the event is a great success. I don't want to see anything fail in the community, but like, god damn, dude, the way to shit the bed in the last few days over this is just insane. Like, it could have dude, the night it happened, it could have all been resolved had like cooler heads prevailed, and they would have been like, all right, we made a fucking emotional response. Let's walk it back. No one would have given a shit. No one would care.
I think the issue is if the event is wildly successful, then it's going to justify their actions, which I think their actions are wrong. That's the problem.
Also, don't forget that no matter how much you want to say that Anissa's like helping run the event, whatever, at the end of the day, iDubbbz is the one who actually like has his finger on the button. Like, he's the one that's really controlling shit behind the scenes, I think. So if he wants to change it, like, it's up to him. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was thinking too. Like, we should put some more.
I feel like people, if you're slighted by this event at Froggy, you should absolutely refund your ticket and just give that money to charity.
Yeah,
I agree.
Any final statements from the panel?
Yeah, I think the takeaway here is I'm kind of tired of getting on panels talking about how shitty iDubbbz has become. I think it's like time to either start putting your money where your mouth is, or just stop watching him in general if you don't like him. Because I don't know, how long can we sit here and just be like, damn, this is so disappointing, before it really starts to get old?
Well, I think the problem is he's doing a community event and he's involving people that we're fans of, like Froggy Fresh. That's the issue. That's why I don't watch iDubbbz anymore. There's nothing to watch,
Like, how, like, right now, this moment, like, swear to God, say I'm lying. Swear to God, right now, if literally everybody manned up and was like, all right, fuck this bullshit, they let me fight my fight now with all the hype around this fucking fight. If Gideon gives a fuck, what the fuck? So it's like, all the hype around this fight right now, they let me fight my fight. They let Sam hide in the building. That motherfucking pay-per-view sales are going to go through the fucking ceiling.
Imagine a moment like at the end of the fight where Sam Hyde and iDubbbz shake hands and make peace. Like, that would go.
I'm
that would
down.
trend
I'm
worldwide.
100% down.
That would be like
that would be great. It'd be great for the event. It'd be great for charity. That's a win-win-win-win-win. Like, nobody loses in that scenario at all.
Yeah. Well,
No, everybody has to run in their parasocial clique, so you can't have that. That's not allowed.
And like Froggy
you can't
said,
have Sam Hyde there because apparently he's a brand risk, I guess.
And like Froggy said too, remember it's important. Like, Froggy said that iDubbbz like kind of, or I don't know if it was Froggy, but iDubbbz like looked at his fans, who they were, and he was kind of like, I don't want to associate with this. I don't want to be like this. But he has to remember at the end of the day, those fans are the ones that are buying the tickets to Creator Clash. Those fans are the ones that he's setting this whole thing up for. That's the audience. And no matter how much
I
he may
try to
want to
make
hide from
peace
that
with my
audience, that's
enemies.
the audience.
I try to make peace with my enemies like all the time. At one point, me and Nicholas Durio hated each other, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
One,
I've
2, 3 times,
four
annually.
times. My
Yeah.
my point is this, right? There's just a certain type of person that can never bury the hatchet, that can never make peace. There's like these certain type of people out there, and they want to just keep it going forever. And it's like, bro, that is not healthy for you, for the other person, for anyone. Like, at the end of the day,
Bro,
battles
some
need to.
people just get off to conflict, okay? That's all
But
that there is. Some
but I
people
get
just
off
get
that
off to that
conflict.
shit.
I get off that conflict too. Like, that's
No,
my thing
you're not a
too. Like,
fucking high schooler is the thing, okay? You're not a fucking bitch made about it, okay? That's there's a key difference.
but at the end of the day, battles have to happen in our space. They have to happen. But they can end. Wars need to end. There's no point of fucking endless war. No
and
one
that's
wins an endless
yeah,
war.
and I agree. And the other thing too is I want to say this. This is what the most fucked up thing is too. Is I was like, when it felt like Ian was trying to scare me out of doing Sam, I was like, damn. It's almost like Ian don't like people going to give Sam a good rap, dude. It's almost like because Ian knows if people go work with Sam, they're gonna be like, damn, this dude's dope as fuck, bro. So it's almost like that's the vibe I got, and I was like, cause damn, Harley went out there and Sam was cool as fuck, and I was like,
Well,
shit, I'm gonna go out there and Sam will be cool as fuck, and I was like, oh shit, Ian don't want me to go out and work with Sam because he's gonna be like, oh shit, Sam is cool as fuck, and it's almost like again another situation when it's like instead of giving Sam a stage, or it's like he wants to again blindfold the audience. It's like he always
Can,
wants to
can
blindfold.
somebody like fill me in on like why Sam is so hated on these, or like why there's
can I
such a
can I
rift?
can I
So
tell you? Can I tell
I'll,
you?
I'll tell you, I'll tell you this much. I didn't know anything about Sam Hyde until like the iDubbbz video. Like when iDubbbz went out to talk to Sam or whatever, right? Like I knew about Sam's name because he would always be on like those 4chan posts or whatever with like the AK-47, but I
Yeah.
didn't really know anything.
I
So
was
like,
gonna
why
say,
is there all
this
this
guy
hate?
committed every single mass shooting known to man, and you don't
Let
even
me
know
Yeah.
explain it. This is the way I understand it, right? Sam Hyde had a very popular show and a very influential show, right? He was a groundbreaking comedian with a brand new style. A bunch of YouTubers imitated that style and that aspect and even copied some of the goddamn jokes, all right? And then when they got popular on the internet, they tried to banish him, right? Oh, bad guy. Oh, horrible guy, horrible guy. They tried to erase Sam Hyde from history. And that's what this all stems from. And
It
that's
is
why
no, it is.
iDubbbz,
Hold up, he
that's
starts 100% correct. It's insecure comedians who are literally inspired. Sam Hyde's the first one who did it. Started doing it before anyone, and everyone you like fucking everyone you like in the era. I'm not even name names. Is inspired by Sam. So then it's like they come up, they take a style, but they're not as fucking good at it, and they water it
I
down
got
more
one
and
more
sell it.
I got one more
Yeah.
point on this, all right? But when I started talking to Sam Hyde to do this boxing stuff, I didn't really know the history. I had to educate myself and go and like learn all the lore and like understand everything. And once you get it, once you realize what these guys did for years, I'm talking like 2015, 2016, like in those years where they tried to hide Sam Hyde and disappear this guy from the record because they were taking his style, right? Once you actually get it, now it makes sense. iDubbbz, right, wants to put this behind him. He's sick of being accused of copying Sam Hyde. So he goes to do a documentary to show that Sam Hyde is like unhinged loser, all that. But the documentary doesn't go the way he wants it to go. So he plans on never releasing it. Like he planned on never releasing it. It was never going to see the light of day. So Sam Hyde gets frustrated after months and months and months, and he releases his version, right? Like that alone, once you understand that aspect, then you can go back and look at the lore and see how these guys tried to erase him from history because they wanted credit for groundbreaking this whole movement with this comedy style.
Yeah, these guys, and I'm not at all the type to get defensive and protective over my work. Like I'm not the type of guy. Like we all stand on the shoulders of giants. We all like are influenced by somebody. The only way to hide your influence is to have so many influences that they merge together. That's the only way to be truly original, is to have so many influences that you can't tell anymore. So I'm not the type to ever be like, yo, this guy's jacking my swag, I'm the real one. But like H3H3 did a video that was a verbatim direct ripoff, like line by line, joke by joke ripoff of one of my videos. And none of these guys ever gave me any kind of credit or anything. And then
What
iDubbbz,
video? Sorry,
yeah,
I'm learning about all this right now.
and then iDubbbz goes and he pulls the ladder up behind him so that nobody else can get to that position. That's what, to me, that's what the language policing and the irony policing and all the stuff that iDubbbz is about now. To me, that's what it's about. It's about pulling the ladder up so that nobody else can do this style of humor and make these jokes and get popular. And then
Well, that's one of the points that, when I was like, he's 27, 28, he's already old enough. It's like, you can grow up, but it's like, at that point, you're already old enough to know. So I kind of do side with what Sam's saying, that it's like, you're kind of like kicking the ladder down or pulling up. Sorry.
It's more of a tactic move than a real change. It's more just to make it so that nobody else can come with that edgy, like that type of 2012 humor and get up now. And then what he did, which is really nuts, he came out here to do a documentary about how I'm washed up and how my life sucks and all these other types of things. And when he came out here, he was saying like weird. He didn't say that was the point. He said he wanted to get a perspective on what my life was like. But he came out here and he was saying weird shit like I'm usually the puppet master in situations like this, and usually I'm able to manipulate. Like he was talking to my crew and saying all kinds of suspect shit. And because in the documentary he wasn't able to make me look like an ass. When he came out here, he just didn't release the footage. So he was sitting on this footage for almost a year, or 9 months, the documentary that he shot. And finally, I had to edit together a version of it and it wasn't like a version that portrayed him in a negative light. It was just a version that was what we had with our cell phones rolling at the time. But yeah, man, he came out here to try to punk me, and now he's mad he wasn't able to.
Yeah, and all that is accurate. I just want to say one thing. My experience with Sam is completely opposite of whatever Ian claims to have experienced. I went out there. Sam had already people lined up, paying them on this right there on the spot, lots of money without not trying to be upfront about it. I could just see he was paying people to come in and out to train me. He was paying the gym. He come into the gym he's got so many responsibilities in the middle of shooting, trying to get his brand off the ground that was unjustly taken from him because of jealous comedians, bro. Sam's whole fucking story basically built around jealous comedians. But the point is, Sam was 100% cool to me. So I don't know, that's the problem, is I think people don't want to go have that experience with Sam to be like, oh, he's cool as fuck.
I was able to call Sam Hyde and be like, hey, look, tone it down, bro. And he did. You know what I mean? It's like the whole concept that this is an unhinged person that's lost his mind and he's gonna go kill someone someday.
It's almost like he's not a schizophrenic murderous Nazi because Hassan said it in a stream and cried about LSF.
Yeah, it's just not true.
No, and here's the deal. The reason why we need people like Sam. The reason why we need people like Sam.
Wait, why do they call Sam a Nazi? Dude, they call everyone a Nazi now. What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I have said some racist shit online.
Oh.
Didn't you donate to some charity?
Just a little bit, though. I didn't say that much racist shit. Don't worry.
I have never done such a thing. Go ahead, Mutahar. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, why do they call him a Nazi? And yeah, I know another person. I know another person who said racist shit too. Like what, the NF slur? But that was a long time ago, dude.
It's just a way to defame anybody who's vague, even a little bit right wing, even a little bit of a Trump supporter. It's just the catch-all term that you use to slander anybody who's not a, fucking rainbow flag waving guy.
Hassan Piker seems like the type that would be promoting punch a Nazi, but he won't fight you. But
I'm begging him to punch a Nazi. I'm begging him to put me out of my misery. He's such an alpha male, Keem. He's such a tough guy. He's the biggest man in Japan. He's got such broad shoulders. Keem, I'm I'm not that good at boxing. I'm slow. I'm almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
I put up 2 million. I told what's his name? Hassan. I told him I would put up $2 million of Bitcoin if from a mystery donor. But we have a real Bitcoin address with $2 million, at least when it was $60,000 of Bitcoin. We had $2 million in there. We put up $2 million for this clown to fight me. He's he could punch a Nazi. He could be a fucking hero. He could be the hero of Twitter, of Tumblr forever if he just put me out of my misery. Please, God.
Well, at the end of the day, we do have to recognize that Hassan Piker did give you respect, though. Like, remember when he first reacted, he said, Sam Hyde would kill me. Like, I'm not fighting him. I would get destroyed. Like, so he did give you some respect at the beginning. I remember that.
He's a wise man. I would put him through the ropes. I would redefine violence. I would cheat. I would step on his feet. I'd be grabbing the back of his head. I'd try to poke him in the eyes. I'd fucking knee him in the balls. Oh my God, Keem.
Dude, I'm about to get off right now, dude. What the fuck? Dude's about to nut.
I think Hassan Piker made the right decision.
Dude, Keem, if I got the word that I was gonna fight Hassan Piker, first of all, I'd be doing cardio. And you know I don't do cardio. I would be running 8 miles a day. I'd be on EPO, whatever that thing is, that blood doping thing. I would be doing I'd have fucking adamantium injected into my knuckles. I'd have lead weights in my elbows. I'd be swinging elbows. Oh my God, man! If I could fight that guy.
Sam, let me try to help you out. Hassan Piker, I know you're probably on your live stream reacting to this instead of producing your own content. I will personally vote for AOC or any extreme lefty person for the rest of my life if you fight Sam Hyde.
I have agreed to quit social media and quit comedy forever if I lose to Hassan Piker. And I also called out Nathan Burnett, dad. I said I would lose 70 pounds. Now, Keem, I don't like when I make a threat like this. I'm not the type of guy to say I would lose 70 pounds and then not do it. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's an insane thing to say. You lose 70 pounds. Can you imagine any other athlete anywhere saying they would lose 70? I would be emaciated. I would have heart palpitations. I'd be in the hospital. I'd be on a stretcher.
For people that don't know Sam Hyde, I think you actually would lose weight to make that fight.
I swear to God, I would 100%
do it. He would do it.
I swear to God, I would lose 70 pounds to fight Nathan Burnett.
You were donating what, $500,000 as well? So
Yeah, I would put up 250 cash, and I'd put up my car, and I would and also if Nathan Burnett beat me, I would leave social media comedy forever. You'd never hear a peep from me again. Gone.
You know what the sad thing is? I hope Creator Clash isn't turning like political, right? And isn't like going to become like a lefty thing or whatever, because if that's the case, like, dude, no, like lefty and righty people, wherever they are in the political spectrum, they have to be on the same event. Like, we have to like do stuff together. We can't just separate the fucking country into two sections. Like, that's so stupid. And I really hope that is not part of this either, right? Where they're looking at Sam and they're calling him like a conservative or something.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, though. I'm gonna tell you what it is. They have it separated like this. They are separating it like left and right, and I'm telling you, over there at Creator Clash is like the Patty Cake Boys, and they let me in, and like I'm a big hitter. They let me in the Patty Cake Boy Club, and I'm telling you, over there at Misfits, where you and Sam swing, it's the hitter club, bro. And I'm telling you, that's why they're trying to keep that shit separated, because they let a mini, like I'm a mid hitter. They let a mid hitter in the Patty Cake Club, and that shit needs to be separated, Keem. There needs to be separation, actually. So I feel like you're wrong on that, because y'all are in the hitter club.
Yeah, I was just talking about politics. I hope they are not introducing politics to their event, because
for the record, I'm not even political. I hate Hassan because he wears like puka shell necklaces and shit. Like, that's literally the basis for why I hate that guy, is because his swag makes me sick. It has nothing to do with politics.
I misunderstood, Keem. Yeah, I agree. Don't keep things separated politically.
I'll get along with everybody, but that guy in particular, his like fucking Pac Sun Zoomies swag is why I want to kill him.
Dude, I never got along with Hassan Piker. I would disagree with one of his points and be like, well, you're wrong because of this. And I tweet at him and he'd respond with no counterpoint. He'd just be like ratio. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought this was the political debate guy on Twitch.
Guy's a
What
fucking
is this
dipshit,
shit?
cokehead. Word I can't say on Twitter Spaces.
All right, guys. Is that it? Have we exhausted everything here?
Yeah, I think we got away from the main point there a lot. I just want to point out, like, it would just be cool if they put Froggy back on the card. I don't know, man. All the Sam Hyde
It
stuff.
would be
is
nice if they
cool,
could
but-
let me know soon if they're gonna put me back on, because like I don't want to be like, okay, I'm training for a boxing event that I might be in, depending on whether or not Ian is still
Froggy.
upset about a joke.
Froggy, imagine if it's a setup, right? Because obviously, they love Chris Ray Gun, right? So what if it's
Right.
she loves Chris Ray Gun. What if it's a setup where like 2 days before the event they announce that you're back on?
Right, dude, and I'm up at like 146 pounds from Chick-fil-A, and I have to like dehydrate myself. Not like Sam's got me cooking in some type of device that him and fucking Jet built, and I'm like barely make weight down to fucking 130, and they gotta pump me with some fucking water to get in the fucking ring, and they just gotta fucking push me at Chris Raygun, who's obviously gonna be fighting for Anissa on April 15th, because this ain't no fight for Chris Raygun. For other people in the fight, it is about charity. I'm not gonna lie, they're down for charity. For Chris Raygun, there's a lot more on the line. For Chris, it's charity and love.
If iDubbbz, and I fully believe this, if iDubbbz and Anissa uploaded YouTube videos explaining their point of view, I feel like they would eventually come to the conclusion we need to put you back on, right? But because they're not addressing the fair market of ideas, the internet, right? And getting that feedback and coming to the best decision in the situation is why you're still off the card. Wait, Brandon wants to talk real quick. We got to get Brandon Buckingham up here. And at the end of the day, like, I really want to hear from them directly their point of view. Maybe there's something that they could tell us that we don't know, Go ahead, Brandon.
I was just saying, why was Sam banned from the first Creator Clash? Like, what exactly did he do to be banned from that?
They said something along the lines, if I remember correctly, that no reputable organization would be involved with working with Sam Hyde, and that's what pissed me off, and that's why I was like, okay.
I think it was like this. I think that could be rephrased to that documentary that iDubbbz tried to come make at Sam's didn't work out the way Ian thought. So when Ian sees Sam, it makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, we were told that even wearing Sam's merch at the event last time would get you banned from it.
And it all could just be squashed. Like, literally just text. Be like, hey, that shit hurt my feelings. Like, this shit hurt my feelings. Sam will stop. Then what? Then it could all be over.
Let me ask this question, Sam. What do we not know? What happened behind the scenes between you and iDubbbz, you and Anissa, behind the scenes that the internet doesn't know?
Man. Well, that's a bad joke. The real thing is that years ago, iDubbbz he made a video doing commentary on one of my videos, and I did a copyright claim on it, and he emailed me asking me to reverse the copyright claim. This was in like 2010 or something. He emailed me asking to reverse it, and I wrote back to him saying, I'll reverse it if you can squat 225 below parallel, and to send me a video of you doing it. And I forgot that was the case, but years later, 2021 or whenever this documentary was made, he comes out, and after he had been with us for 6 or 7 days chilling, recording footage, he gets me in the interview part where he's like sitting down doing a sit down interview, and he's like, he says, "Do you remember our first email? Do you remember when I emailed you back in 2010 or whatever?" And I said, "No." And then he springs it on me that I copyright striked his video and told him to lift weights. And I asked him if I made an enemy doing that, and he said, he jokingly sort of smirked and said, "Yeah, you kind of did." So his all along his plan was to come out here and do this documentary, make me look like an asshole. And he said he said it would be easy because I am an asshole. That's why he said it would be easy to make me look like an asshole because I am an asshole. And that's his motivation for doing the documentary. And even after that, I was still thankful. I was still like, bro, you got more subscribers than me. Thank you for making this documentary. Like, I'm excited. I think it's cool. I'm glad we got to hang out or whatever. Like, I wasn't put off by his the sort of like negative inception of this document. I don't give a shit if it turns out to be some cool project that we make together. Then I'm cool with it. But he just has had it out for me ever since that day. He's got that like that tiny. I think it's like a tiny. It's just a small soul, like a small heart. He's got a tiny little heart that like doesn't have a lot of room for mercy or doesn't have a lot of room for forgiveness or something like that. That he's one of those hold a grudge for eternity type of dudes. And to be honest with you, I think what I would like to happen. I mean, I'm not one to make predictions. I told him after he lost to Dr. Mike in an embarrassing fashion. I told him, come fucking back to Rhode Island. I will train you to beat Dr. Mike. Like, I'm not, and I don't even want clout from this. I don't want him to do a documentary about me training him to beat Dr. Mike. I don't care if he ever tweets about it. Like, I would fucking have him out here. I'd have him putting on pounds. I would teach him to hit the heavy bag with power. I would teach him to fucking stop doing that fancy.
And Sam would do that just to squash the static.
I wouldn't not even to squash the static, but just to help a man when he's down. Like that loss to Dr. Mike was so fucking embarrassing.
Right, but
And
it would be like it'd be two birds with one stone. Because I know you do that not because you did it for me, not to squash static. But
like
if you did it for him, it would do two birds with one stone. It'd be like
it would, and I would help him just even the same way that you would help a homeless person or something. Like his training with his fake coach Michael Briggs, where he's doing this like head movement shit and not hitting with power and doing these combinations that are like low to medium power that doesn't make sense. Like how you need to learn to damage another human being. You need to learn how to like boxing is about hurting people. You need to learn how to hurt somebody. So he would come out here. I would put pounds on him. I would get him big with lifting, and I would teach him how to hit with power. And I would teach him to stop doing the trying to roll and weave punches. He's white. He's not a 130-pound Puerto Rican kid. He's not going to weave or roll under any punches. That's not going to happen. But I would get him good. And I think my prediction was if he loses to Alex Wasabi, that offer is still extended. I'll train him. I'll get him big. He needs to put on like 20 pounds of lean mass. And he needs to learn how to hit with power. That's his main thing. Because his coach, Michael Briggs, is this fake ass Los Angeles fitness boxing coach that does the pity patter pad work that all these other creator clash people do, where they're just like tapping pads and not knowing how to hit the heavy bag. It's ridiculous. But that offer still stands. If he loses to Alex Wasabi, I would train him. I wouldn't even want clout. I wouldn't want any public acknowledgement of it. I would just like to help this fucking guy fix his character arc. Because that's what he needs. He needs to fix his character arc, because right now it's in the trash.
Yeah, they need to just actually be inclusive. I keep seeing these like statements about how Creator Clash is inclusive. How? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm confused by that. Like, what? It's not.
They're acting like Sam is such a bad guy. At the Creator Clash 1, I wanted to like go and clown on iDubbbz, and Sam and them specifically told me not to. And even after they banned Sam last minute, Sam was literally telling me still not to be like overly negative about Creator Clash.
I 100% believe that, dude, because Sam didn't say nothing about Ian and Issa the whole fucking time. Like, Sam don't want to be stressing about fucking drama with people. That's why they should just squash it.
Yeah, and they thought he was going to cause a scene and like ruin the event. There was never any discussion of that. They're completely delusional about the entire thing.
Yeah. I got to bring up this point. They lied. They flat out lied. They said that Dr. Mike would never do the fight if Sam Hyde was at the event or something like that. And then Brandon interviewed Dr. Mike, and Dr. Mike said the exact opposite.
Yeah,
they're
he
trying.
said who's Sam Hyde?
Like, so they
He said,
lied.
"Shout out to Sam Hyde at home." Like the clip is literally on my channel. It's insane.
They lied. Yeah.
They're just trying to demonize Sam and blacklist him, and it's complete bullshit. And it's not fair, and it's annoying that I even have to keep harping on being like, "Oh, Sam's a good guy. Sam's a good guy." When they're
Well,
just
it's not
fucking
working because every time they keep fucking trying to blacklist him, like even like I said in the beginning, I had no fucking idea who Sam Hyde was, but ever since all of this, I'm more Team Sam than anything.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
like
I mean, oh, what? So Ian said the N word a few years ago. Is he all of a sudden some horrible guy? Should he be banned from things? It's, I mean, whatever.
well, that's the thing. It's like if you want to get like the if you want to be like, hey, I was bad like years ago and now I'm reformed. Well, can't you apply the same to Sam as well? Like, is it only for like them that they can be like reformed and nobody else, or like nobody else can grow? I guess like
Yeah,
it's so fucking stupid.
It's
I
the
was
Streisand
thinking-
effect too, because every commentary channel is going to be making a video shitting on them. Now they're in terrible light. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
That's what I was thinking
ridiculous.
the
Did they
whole
fuck
time. Brandon
up?
is exactly right. 1000%. Because I was thinking, okay, look it. If you're upset about the OnlyFans joke, whatever. Like, if this wasn't addressed, if they didn't even address it and just said, man, that's fucked up, whatever, it's no big deal. Dude, nobody would even be talking about this. Now every night I'm on here with Sam Hyde and Keemstar trying to discuss this OnlyFans joke. It's literally like, what were they thinking?
Well, I want to talk about the lawsuit aspect of this, right? So if they are threatening a lawsuit,
That's such a bitch-made thing to do, suing fucking creators. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
yeah, but listen to this. Actually think about this, right? If he's going to be sued, he's not going to be sued from iDubbbz or Anissa. He's going to be sued from Creator Clash. Well, where does Creator Clash get its money to sue somebody? Because lawsuits cost a lot of money. From fan donations, right? That's where the money's coming from. So you have fans buying a boxing match that are
Dude, this is one of the most
funding
twisted
a
shit.
lawsuit
It's
against
literally
another
YouTube.
creator.
YouTube is so. It's like I wanted to be a YouTuber. If you could have told me fast forward 10 years, YouTube's gonna be crowdsourcing a lawsuit against you via Creator Clash too.
Dude, think about how fucked up that is if they actually sue him, though. It's like fans' donations are going to be funding the lawsuit against
Yeah,
him.
instead of helping kids with cancer, we're literally suing each other.
They said all of the proceeds will go to the charities. Are they even legally allowed to use the money for anything else when it's like promised like that? Like, I'm not too familiar with the law.
They can't say all the proceeds, right? Because like they have to pay for the
You have to pay for
arena.
overhead expenses, administration fees. All that.
Yeah,
So they're paying the
there's
fight.
probably some legal loophole or whatever, but still, all the fans will think it's going to charity and like the expenses for the event when it's really
That's why you guys should refund your money. Actually, take it away from the legal
Y'all
costs.
paying for Froggy
You
Fresh
made
to
an
go to
OnlyFans
prison.
joke,
Y'all got to make a Froggy Fresh goes to prison 2023 YouTube creator video.
No, you got to
Dude,
make
if you
that.
get sued, I'm down to pay for your legal fees. I don't give a fuck. This shit is cringe as hell. Like,
Damn,
that's
Bro, I
fucking
appreciate
stupid.
the support I'm
Damn,
getting
I'm
from everyone.
tweeting that right
I gotta be
now.
honest with you, bro. The support from the internet has been crazy, unreal. Because when I first got this letter, I was like, "What the fuck, dog? I got a fucking mortgage and shit. Like, I'm gonna be fucked." And then all of a sudden, fucking, and I was scared as
That's even
fuck.
more fucked. It's like you're
But like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm the type of person. I'm the type of person who I probably would just sign the shit because I know what the fuck. But my wife was like, "Hell no, fuck that." And then she told Keem, and Keem was like, "Dude, that's like a death sentence." So I was like, what the fuck is this?
They're suing you to recoup the training costs they gave you, like
Oh,
for training camp.
they said if I shut up and pay back the 15 grand for the 5 months of training, if I shut up and pay that back, they won't sue me for damages. But if I don't shut up and pay that back, they could potentially sue me for damages.
They're that petty. What have you done to warrant that? That doesn't even make any sense.
The only thing I can guess, as far as the internet is guessing, is it's either the Anissa OnlyFans joke, which again blows my mind because we have iDubbbz on the internet saying, "Hey, the OnlyFans shit doesn't bother me." Okay, so I make a Chris Ray Gun Anissa OnlyFans joke. Okay, then I'm kicked out of the event, or is it me going to train with Sam Hyde? It can only be one of two things.
Neither one seems like they even remotely weren't going to get a lawyer and fucking pressing charges and banning you. It's just this is insane.
I think they just did this specifically to scare him into shutting up. I don't think they actually expected to pursue legal action.
The thing
And
about these fucking lawsuits that piss me off is like you usually have like the fucking Goliath suing like somebody like Froggy Fresh. Now I don't know your financial situation, but it's like you seem like you're in the middle class area, right? So it's like you get
Yeah,
hit with a
like
lawsuit,
I
that
got a
shit's
mortgage.
devastating.
I got a
That
mortgage.
shit's devastating,
Yeah, I
right?
have a
But like,
mortgage. Yeah, I have
yeah,
a mortgage. So it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I got a mortgage. So it's like,
So
no,
it's like they're out there trying to give you a lawsuit threat. Fuck them, okay? Yeah, we'll cover the fucking. I'm down to fucking pay for the lawsuit. Like I don't give a shit. Like this is so fucking stupid. It's like you're literally threatening somebody's entire existence and livelihood because you think you fucking can. Fuck that bullshit. So fucking, it's just insane, dude.
Yeah, what violations were broken in the contract, like explicitly? I'd like to see the contract and what the Anissa OnlyFans comment violated. Right? If that's what they're trying to
bro,
sue
I
you.
thought Harley was on here like a day ago saying they only did like some fucking basic boxing contract. Where did the social media policy come from? Was that like a different contract, or was he lying?
Dude, I'm going to be honest. Harley has been like really hard to communicate with in these spaces, like very, very hard to communicate with. It's kind of hard to understand him and where he's coming from. He just says a lot of shit and then like dips. Remember the first space, like we thought maybe Harley was like high or something. And
Yeah,
then
I don't want to shit on Harley, but it's been hard to listen to. I like Harley, but man, I don't know what the fuck
same.
he's talking about exactly.
It's
Alex,
kind of like a
think he
shame that he
believes
has to
what
be
he
like the
says.
PR guy for this.
I don't
Yeah.
think Harley's bullshitting. I think he like believes what he says or whatever, but maybe he's just hearing like one point of view more than the other. I don't know. He has his own opinion. He knows things that we don't as well. But I don't know. I just have to disagree with a lot of what he says based on what I know.
I just think Harley has a very, very good relationship with iDubbbz and Anissa.
no, but
And he
somebody
really,
needs to make this point. I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna do it for Kanye. I'm gonna shut up for a second.
okay, so I just think that he has a really good relationship with iDubbbz and Anissa, and that he loves Creator Clash, and he loves the fact that, you know, money's going to charity, and that this situation is fucking it all up. And now that Creator Clash is getting hate, he feels like he needs to like go in and defend it. Like that's the situation.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that for sure. And I
But
mean,
There's an
yeah,
emotional component, yeah. You can't
But
fucking
this
deny
this
the
is the
man
point
for
I
it.
keep think. This is the point I keep thinking of. Do you guys think this is weird? Do you think it's weird that like okay, fucking so Sam and iDubbbz had the beef, right? Do you think it's weird that Harley can be completely friends with iDubbbz, hang out with him, go to his event, and Sam doesn't? It doesn't affect Sam at all. Like Harley could go chill with Sam any day, anytime, anyways. But on the other hand, if Harley does some shit with Sam, then Ian won't be friends with Harley. Don't you think that's a little fucking weird? Like, doesn't that go to show you like who's the fucking weirdo? If he's
Yeah,
like,
it's like a fucking weird ass rivalry you have with
if
your
you're
little
friends
cousin
with
that's like
him,
one
if
sided.
you're friend, it's like Ian saying, okay, if you're friends with him, then we can't be friends. But Sam's not fucking doing that. Sam's like, yeah, I mean, what the fuck I care if you're friends with Ian?
Sam,
I don't think about Ian.
Sam Hyde, me and you, we need to make a community boxing event that raises money for charity. Like fast.
Let's
Yeah, I'm
go.
down to join in on that. It seems like the only way to counter this bullshit is to make something fucking equivalent that's just
Make something that's actually inclusive, that involves everybody.
Dust bangers.
So now you're competing with a charity, Kim.
Yeah, now I would be a competitor. But no, seriously, because dude, Creator Clash is such a good event. It really is. Like it's
Dude,
the concept.
or the whole thing could be patched literally with Ian and Nisa coming to me and Sam and just being like, hey, fuck this. Let's do it for charity. And with this much hype, that bitch would sell the fuck out. And then everything could be fixed. What the fuck?
Look, I have
exactly.
all different types of issues with many different people, but I never let it get involved. Like I never let it fuck up business, right? So like
Exactly. That was one of the last texts I sent Ian. I was like, dude, it really sounds to me like your personal shit is fucking up your business.
Def Noodles is currently suing me now. If he came to me with a brilliant idea, I would go into business with him because nothing gets in the way of business. Like it just doesn't.
Even
Like,
during your
literally,
lawsuit,
you
that'd
could
be
be
a
like,
fucking wild. That'd be tough to manage.
In
I'm,
regards to the
I'm
lawsuit towards Froggy Fresh, I wonder in the contract if there's a clause that if you speak on Anissa's OnlyFans, you'll be pulled from the event. You think there's an OnlyFans clause in the contract?
Yeah,
no,
bro,
there's not
section
an OnlyFans
6C.
clause. There ain't no OnlyFans clause.
I think the OnlyFans clause is if you subscribe to her OnlyFans and you don't shoot a load so hard that your eyes roll into the back of your head. She owes me $19.95.
Yeah, I looked up some pictures. She has one with the banana. It's really nice. But I'm going to hop out and go to bed, you guys. Peace out. Thanks for having me in here.
Yeah, we tried to end this like 5 times. Guys, I put out a tweet. I just want to recognize Mutahar for fucking offering the legal fees. I still think Froggy Fresh, you should do like some type of fundraiser or something on April 15th so we can give some love to your charities. A lot of people are on your side with this. Like, again, not to bring up Duff Noodles again, but I seen his coverage. It seemed fair and balanced. I seen Philly D's. It seemed fair and balanced. I haven't seen anybody report this story where they were like wildly incorrect and wrong. And
Right.
it's like, it feels like that you getting kicked off this like really brought the community together. This is one of those issues where we seen it injustice and we want justice, you know?
Right, I appreciate that. To be honest with you guys, like when I first went public with this shit, I did not think the internet was gonna be riding for me, but at the same time, I was not about to just sit there and shut the fuck up.
Well, I really hope you start making music videos again and start making content again and just, you know.
Yeah, and lastly, I also don't want to. I need to shut the fuck up about that because I'm not even trying to make it about myself. Literally, whatever the fuck you guys, the internet wants, I will shut the fuck up and never talk about this shit again. Y'all can have me fight. I'll do a concert. Like literally, whatever fucking creates peace about the situation, makes the internet happy. Like I fuck with 100%.
At the end of the day, it's a pile of lemons, so you might as well make lemonade. Any final thoughts on stage? Thank you guys for all coming out. Go to my Twitter, retweet that tweet, and if there's more updates to the story, we will do another space. See you guys.